I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epwards. Clouds thinning out for this afternoon. Some hours of sunshine. High 75.
73 degrees in Alpharetta. Brazelton at 72. Down in Peachtree City, 77 degrees. We'll have more news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Haessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
All this time, today is the day. We've been leading up to this for a long time, Eric. Election Day 2024.
Oh, yeah, that. I thought you were talking about the NFL trade deadline, which
That's
is
true.
Also today. Probably I got a microphone in front of me on my talk radio station, so I'm going to have to pretend that the thing you brought up is the one thing I'll be focused on most. But in reality, I'll be checking that NFL trade deadline, seeing if my Falcons or my Bills pick up anybody.
Don't forget tonight, too, the big college football playoff committee gets together, and
There's
they
that
release
as well.
their college football poll, the first one of this year.
You know, I saw an article, or maybe it was a link for a video where people were they were going to give their predictions of what the first college poll
That was
would
a
look
USA
like.
Today story. I saw that one.
Why?
It makes no right. A waste of time.
You've waited this long. When does it come out? 8?
Yeah, I think it's
p.m. You've waited this long, but you're so into it, you're going to sit down for an hour and a half and watch people predict what's going to happen. You know, I got an idea. Find a loved one, take them to lunch. Just wait till 8 o'clock. It is all prediction. All predict. You don't know. A prediction isn't knowing.
You got to know what Tim predicts.
They know in Guam.
It's only going to piss them off because, in some, somebody's on the edge of they're either 25 or 26 or 27, maybe 24, and they love that team, and it's just a reason to get pissed off at 8 p.m. when you watch these supposed objective people tell you, my prediction, your favorite team will be ranked 24, and then at 8 o'clock, they're not ranked in the top 25.
Yeah.
Why are you giving yourself another reason to get angry? Why would you do that? Just if you're interested, hey, well, comes out at 8 tonight. Do some crossword puzzles, whatever, fill the time.
It is interesting that they would pick tonight of all nights to release their first official
They
college
don't want
football
anybody
playoff
to see
poll.
it.
Well,
I guess so. So they can avoid some of the hate.
Listen, I don't know. It'll get kind of buried a little bit, and I think that just happens when it happens, right? It happens on a whatever Tuesday. I guess is it always the?
It's always week 11, but I guess it wouldn't
Is
always
it
fall
always
on
the
election
second
night.
Tuesday? Is that how it is? Is that the voting thing? The second Tuesday of November? Is that how it goes
First.
down? The first. I can't remember. How long have we been in? How long have we been in November?
Well, it's the 5th.
Okay, it's the first. So if they do it that way, and say, well, we always come out with the first one, the first Tuesday of November, then they're always going to be in this jackpot, I suppose. But they probably didn't think about it, including the trade deadline. They probably didn't think about it. Like, well, what fan base is going to miss out on a great trade because the GM forgot to vote and say, hold on, guys, give me 30 minutes. I got to run out and vote. And then somebody else gets the player. This is going to happen. This is why I'm not a big fan of election days. To stop calling it election day. This is merely the final day of the election season now. Something like 73 million people voted before today. I'm not a huge fan of all that, but people tell me I'm wrong. So what the hell? Maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I'd be for Friday to Tuesday or something like that. Have a little extra time to, that way some people work every weekend and some people have every weekend off, right? So if you do it from Friday to Tuesday, you kind of pick up everybody's different schedules, work schedules and all that. But hey, it is what it is.
Remember, some
And
states
here
don't
we
even,
are.
Some states don't even have early voting. Like Alabama, for example, only has absentee ballots. They don't have early
Right.
voting there, which that's
No one wakes up in
Why is it
Alabama
crazy?
until like noon.
Yeah.
So early is not a
I ain't
concept.
gotta work.
Early is not a concept.
New York doesn't have it really.
I haven't lived there in so long. Do they? I have
It's
no
very
idea.
short.
Well, they do it like a week before. Or
I think
something
so.
Like
We
that.
have a month and a half.
Well, now we've gotten. That's how we started. Didn't we start with like a week somewhere, like a few weeks before the election, and then they had election day, and it just got bigger and longer, and blah, and people will still be bitching. It's interesting the rhetoric going into this day. So I watched a good deal of Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, much more watchable for me than Trump, because Trump, he does his weave, Oh, come on, get to the point.
What are you talking about?
And so Elon Musk is telling Rogan that if Trump loses, that's it. It's the last election, and he's going through the whole thing of, which may or may not, I don't know, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to manifest itself in 4 years, I don't think. His worry is apparently that they are, they're flying undocumented folks. They just lost their documents. Heavily into swing states. And then his fear is that in the 4 years, they make it not only they just make it illegal to show ID. And then whatever. I don't know. He may have a point, he may not. Is it going to happen overnight? Probably not. Do they have a plan? Probably. Being a cynic, politicians, power? Absolutely. That's the incentive. There's only one incentive for any politician who's ever lived: power. Well, there's two: more power. So he's saying on Joe Rogan, if Trump doesn't win, this is probably the last chance for democracy. And he made the point a bunch of times. Then I get in and I see an article where Oprah Winfrey last night. We may lose our right to vote. We may never be allowed to vote again in the United States of America. Something for which, by the way, as an aside, there is absolutely no evidence of. Elon can probably at least point to, more are going to swing states or whatever, which still doesn't convince me, the fix is in. But there is zero evidence. I mean, show me the think tank that's putting it out. Is it even in Project 2025, which Trump has said he doesn't give a damn about, but the media is saying no, he's attached to it. So
That's the only part of it I like.
Well,
no more voting.
no more. Is that in there? Here's the deal. Trump says he doesn't like it, but the media says he loves it. So the media wins?
Obviously.
Obviously.
Media
The
one,
one
Trump
person,
zero.
the one person inside of his own brain telling you, no, he is that. Hey, shut up, Trump. We decided this was good for elections. We're just going to go with it. But, as most people of the show know, I didn't vote today. I don't vote anymore because I'll go back to, I have several reasons, but I'll go back to, nobody's asked for my vote. If somebody came along and actually asked for my vote by talking about things that I find to be important in the future of the United States of America. But if you're coming at me to get me all riled up about who should and shouldn't be in a public bathroom, that's not going to get me to the polls.
Kamala didn't text you to come out and vote for her?
Oh, everybody texted me.
I need $5. $5 is not that much, but when you give me $5 and somebody else gives me $5,
Yeah, multiply.
that's 10.
Yeah, it's 10. Yeah,
It's not multiply,
Don't we-
actually. It's adding.
I could do 3.
Multiplication is just a
Here's
different form
3.
of adding.
You need to give me 3.
That's all I got. It's $3. Why is it funny? I don't-
Things, comedy comes in 3s. So
That's
I'm
right.
laughing.
Hey, right.
All
Now,
right.
what I do want to know is, so I get a lot of stuff tossed at me because I don't vote anymore. But I voted for 40 years. Listen, I did my part. And look at the country. I didn't do a good job. You're better off without me.
Hey, I want to thank you for your votes. Twice.
How do you know I voted for you?
Who else did you vote for?
I just go with the third party. That's the only thing that I used to do I'll do my civic duty. But then when it occurred, so I would just go and I would vote for somebody I knew couldn't win, like a third party, libertarian, whatever. And then it occurred to me that this civic duty nonsense is only hurting me because I never want to be called to another jury trial again. So if I'm only doing it as a civic duty and I'm never voting for one of the two people that are actually going to win, then why keep putting myself out there for jury duty when that's really the thing I hate the most?
Stop the one-eyed bandit, though. Come on now, Eric.
There's plenty of neighbors I have. Plenty of 27, 28-year-olds can go out there and stop the one-eyed bandit.
Tim is locked and loaded.
I've been called 3 times to jury duty and just sat there for half a day and then was told to go home. So I'm tired of it. I've never actually sat on a jury. I keep being called as an alternate, and then I never get called.
You're too smart.
That's what I was trying to tell him. The first time in Atlanta when I had to go years and years and years ago, there's a cop there, and he was a fan of the regular guys. And so he was like, hey, how you doing? I'm a big fan. And I said, hey, man, can you just go tell them that, like, I'm in the media, I'm on the radio, I shouldn't be here? We didn't have the word influencer then, so maybe I should have used that. And he said, hey, man, love the show, but I can't help you. So I just ended up sitting around all day. So it was not a good thing for me. But you, and by the way, this host doesn't care who you voted for or vote for today, just wants you to vote the way that you want to vote. I'm not trying to influence you one way or another. What I don't understand is this Jared Yamamoto who voted today, and then this whole psychology of, well, they gave me a sticker, so I have to wear it. And I don't really understand. Am I supposed to give you a round of applause? Am I supposed
That would be
to
nice.
thank you for your service? There's George Clark again with his. I
I think it's fine to wear the sticker. It's wrong to post it on social media.
Well, I wouldn't even wear it. I don't even say what the rules should be. I wouldn't change the law to make you not be able to wear it.
Arrest him.
I'm just wondering, what is my response supposed to be? Like, you're better than me. Because it seems like that's what it is. Like walking around, hey, I voted, so
that's not the
out
intention.
of my way.
It's more like you
probably want free beers someplace. They give you a free beer.
Well, it is pretty cool how many places offer free donuts, free beer if you have the sticker on. But I literally, before I came here, I went and voted. They handed me.
Okay,
which
doesn't
the
mean you have
poll workers
to
were
put
great.
it on.
They handed it to me. They said, hey, wear it all day. You secured
I got
your
the
vote.
cool one. I got the cool one.
You did.
Yeah.
Yours was way cooler
The
than mine.
talking butt.
Man,
Oh yeah.
there are some that are really cool. Mine was so boring.
Well, listen, they're all.
Oh, you live in Maryland.
The idea that everyone is walking around saying, I'm in that club, I don't know. It just seems, I don't get it. I don't know why.
It's just one day.
It
know
feels
what?
like
Take
a sense. It feels like a sense of community. Like
Does
we
it?
all like, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, feels like we care. So
Yeah, I don't need that.
You know.
We care. You said it right there. We're the good ones. We're the good ones. I want a sticker that says, I didn't vote.
Well, you can't.
Well,
I
get
didn't
that.
vote. No, I just should
You have
be
to
like,
make one.
I have to make my own. Have a peach. I'll just have, just say, I didn't vote. That's it.
There you go.
I didn't vote today. It's just, you're adults. George Clark has one. You're not in kindergarten needing a sticker because you
I
did
do
something
needed the
good.
sticker.
I'm just telling you, again, through the process, I got done with my ballot.
No,
I
but you have
cast
to
it.
put it on. I
The lady
I
handed it to me
voted.
to ask me to wear it, and I'm like,
Put it on or die.
She's a stranger. Obviously, you have an obligation. Usually, I take them and I carry them with me. I have worn them around when I wasn't thinking, but for the most part, if everybody else is doing something, I'm not just going to jump in. Now,
You're a contrarian.
what with that Dixville Notch?
Oh,
They,
yeah. They're split.
yeah, great,
Yeah, I voted last night.
great. They're split. What does that tell you about the evening? 3 votes for Trump, 3 votes for Harris.
I guarantee it was
Great.
all the husbands went for Trump and the wives.
Well, they all
Yeah,
went for
by
Biden.
the way, that's another one. That's another one that I want to really. This is kind of egregious. This idea from the Democrats that wives are only voting for Trump to please their husbands. Excuse me, have you ever met a MAGA mom? Have you ever met a MAGA mom? This is something that doesn't work with the narrative, so it's not explored. But there is a great deal of middle-aged mom MAGA energy in that movement. And what I have found is that, and this is anecdotal, but if I'm having a debate with a MAGA dad, a MAGA dude,
MAGA bro.
there can be some back and forth and we kind of whatever. You try to debate a MAGA mom, she'll hit you over the head with something. I mean, I mean this in a positive way. It's like the idea, it's so condescending. You know, she's going to be the first female president if she's elected, and she's going to try to get there by saying that the only reason that wives vote for Trump is because they're to please their husbands. Have you ever disagreed with a MAGA mom at a party? Have you ever had that experience? Marjorie Taylor Greene is their mascot. I mean, they are like pit bulls.
They wear the costume.
You could try to get out of the house or out of the party. You'll be halfway home, and they'll still be gnawing at your leg.
Well, I'm just trying to make America great again.
I get it.
That's all.
If
What
she-
are you trying to do?
If she finds out I voted for Kamala Harris, she's looking. I'm not
I
going to
know
have
he
dinner.
ain't voting for
sex.
nobody but Trump. We know it. You know it, and I know it.
But again, you know, it's a good time because I didn't close up the point that I was starting to make yesterday because we got caught up in the the whole thing of whether or not live bands should mime or lip sync. But the point that I was trying to make is that this guy Phil with a YouTube channel, Wings of Pegasus, has proven that the Eagles are lip syncing, that Taylor Swift is lip syncing, that Lady Gaga couldn't have done it live from the Olympics, and nobody's suing him because he's proving it. And the Taylor Swift thing, the point that I wanted to make about the media, who used to be the ones who would investigate things, being so on board with the corporate things that bring in more money. So this guy, Phil, from Wings of Pegasus, in his, I'm not going to say basement, it's a very nice little, but it's not, he's obviously in his office when he's doing this. And he takes on an investigation and proves that Taylor Swift, the biggest act in the world, the biggest tour of all time, the tour that made her a billionaire, is lip syncing and miming. And my question is, why didn't 60 Minutes do that? Why is it a guy in his office with some pitch software who just takes an interest in this stuff? But why didn't 60 Minutes? Why didn't Dateline do it? I'm telling you, in the 70s and 80s, like that would have been, oh, hey, and I'll tell you why. Because 60 Minutes is with CBS. CBS does better when they give you good stories about Taylor Swift because Taylor Swift has a huge fan base. And so it becomes about, by the way, this is why you never hear any negative stories about drug companies. Not since the OxyContin thing. Since the OxyContin thing, how many negative stories have you heard? And it just so happens, it turns out that 50% of advertising on television news comes from the pharmaceutical companies. They don't have to. Taylor Swift people don't have to go, hey, you shouldn't be negative about her. They recognize. We do a story about Taylor Swift, and then we do an online thing, and all you got to do is put those two words, clicks go through the roof. So it's a disincentive for 60 Minutes, who is supposed to root out fraud, hypocrisy, all of these things, and then every once in a while tell you about some 8-year-old violin genius or whatever. Spoonful of medicine. Oh, and a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Yeah, Mike Wallace would grill people.
Yeah. So it's like,
CEOs.
why we are at a point, and then you notice that the corporations and the governments want to silence the YouTube channel. They're not going after the New York Times, not going after the Washington Post, not going after NBC. It's always like the guy in his basement doing the YouTube channel. But it shows what's happened to the media, that they just want to be a part of what Taylor Swift is creating, because if you become a part of it, everybody makes money. So instead of 60 Minutes doing the investigation and letting America know that she's lip syncing, and by the way, that's just information. Some people may hear that information and go, it turns me off. Most people would say, I don't care. I don't care. Get the $5,000. We're getting 2 tickets to see the next Taylor Swift show.
We're flying to New Orleans.
We're
Let's
flying,
go.
right, whatever. Because it's an event. So I'm not saying that 60 Minutes should get on there and say, you shouldn't go see Taylor Swift, but you should know that she's lip syncing when you pay for the ticket. If it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't matter to you. That's the way it's supposed to work. You get the information. But the reason that it's a guy in his office, because he can't make money from the Taylor Swift phenomenon. I mean, I guess he could review records and say hers is great, and then he'd go through the roof. But it's a real point. It really does show what is happening in the national media, because it's kind of dying a little bit. At least it's changed a great deal. And they want to stay relevant. And staying relevant, you don't stay relevant as 60 Minutes or CBS by upsetting every Swiftie. You become the bad guy. You get a couple days of headlines, and it doesn't help you. But if you go, wow, this is great, and look what she's doing, and blah, 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 people love her. Juxtapose that Paul McCartney, who absolutely cannot sing anymore. And I don't know why, but there's no one, when you see Paul McCartney on stage and there's 80,000 people in the audience, no one thinks that he's lip syncing, because no one would lip sync to that. Can't buy me love, baby, I'm a baby. I mean, so you at least have to give him some credit. He's willing to go out there. It's 2024. This is my voice. But you guys want to spend an evening with me and spend, I don't know how many thousands of dollars to do it. But he's not being phony. He's not being phony. But he also doesn't dance. I talked about this with Neil Finn, this thing that I don't like about music where everybody has dancers dancing around them all the time. Well, what happens when you're dancing all the time? You're out of breath. I mean, somehow Mick Jagger can do it. Somehow Tina Turner could do it. Mick Jagger stole it from Tina Turner. But everybody can't do it. And even Mick Jagger, on the record, it's honky tonk woman. Live since the 70s has been, she's a honky tonk, honky tonk. Nobody thinks that Mick Jagger is lip syncing, and he's still not at 80. But that's just a musical preference. I think it says everything about the kind of coverage that you're getting from the national media, that it takes a guy in his office to let the world know that Taylor Swift is miming her songs, that you're going to see her dance. Not 60 Minutes. I know Taylor Swift isn't all that important, but if you think it stops there, then ask yourself why you haven't seen any negative stuff about the intelligence agencies, pharmaceutical companies, or anybody else who supports the corporate media.
So your septic system needs repairs. That stinks. First, they want to charge you to pump out the tank and charge you again for the repair. That's just wrong. Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Scorpion Septic, and we don't do that. With us, there's never a pump out charge with your repair. You'll save hundreds.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump out charge with your repair. Call for more information.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is Belinda for Atlanta Vision Institute, and I want Rose to tell you her story about how she had laser optics and how the procedure totally changed her life.
It had become impossible to drive at night. It had actually even become impossible to drive during the day. I knew it was dangerous, and I knew I was pushing my luck, so I finally decided to do something about it and saw Dr. Ashraf, who recommended laser optic surgery. After the first procedure on the right eye, it worked so beautifully. I couldn't wait to get the second eye done. I'm very excited about trying out my new eyes.
Folks, what are you waiting for? Go to the website 2020atlanta.com to find out more information and take the quiz to see if this procedure will be a good option for you. That's 2020atlanta.com. Your medical insurance may cover part of it. Remember, that's 2020atlanta.com.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey, are you feeling the impact of the recent changes in the timeshare industry? Well, my friends at Lone Star Transfer, they are the only company I trust to help you. Now, they have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they have thousands of five-star reviews. Now, their customer service is their top priority. Now, for a free consultation and a guaranteed solution, call now at 833-594-0075. That's 833-594-0075. On the web, it's LoneStarTransfer1word.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk. It is 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by George Stein's Steel Horse Law. Polls are open. We've seen a record number of voters here in Georgia. So what's bringing voters out to vote today? These folks in Cobb County telling us
jobs, cost of living, wages, those kind of things.
I want to see the economy get better and prices going down on food and everything else.
All right, so Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger saying today that the call center's getting a lot of calls and they're able to help voters quickly.
What's really interesting is that today a lot of people call our call center. So far we've had 1,374 calls on our call center, and they were answered an average of 16 seconds.
And as for voting, he says on average, voters have been able to get in and out in less than 4 minutes. Well, polls will close tonight at 7 o'clock, but 2 precincts in Cobb County will stay open a little bit later until 7:20, and that's because they opened late this morning. So what caused the delay? Cobb spokesman Ross Cavett telling us.
They were unrelated incidents at the precincts that involved just getting the equipment up and running and plugged in properly.
So those 2 locations that will stay open until 7:20 this evening are Mount Perrin Church of God in Marietta and Kell High School, also there in Marietta. Well, besides voting for president in Cobb County, they will decide on a mobility special purpose local sales tax. It would add a 1% sales tax to fund transit projects in that county. In Gwinnett, voters there will be voting on a SPLOST referendum. That's a 1% tax to fund transit projects. And there are some amendments also that Georgia voters will be voting on today. One deals with homestead exemptions. Another would create a special tax court. And then the third deals with property tax exemptions. Stay tuned throughout this election day and check back often for updates. Our in-depth election night coverage starting at 6 this evening with a special roundtable. It'll feature all the WSB hosts. We'll have complete coverage of all the races and results as they come in. And then tomorrow on Atlanta's Morning News here on 95.5 WSB, we are your 2024 election station. As we take a look at the markets, they've been up all day. The Dow's up 363 at 42,158. So the Dow's up almost a full percent. NASDAQ's up more than a full percent, and so is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Mark McKay has a look at the roads.
Hey, Sabrina, good afternoon. It's a travel advisory. If you're trying to roll through Douglasville right now, headed eastbound, couple of right lanes knocked out. Traffic trooper Brad for us to tip us off of this crash, 20 east past Chapel Hill Road, exit 36. There are westbound delays in the area. Highway 78 is the way to go. Downtown Atlanta, slow on the connector. That's keeping slow traffic back. I-85 at Georgia 400 headed south to Midtown. South side delays on I-75 northbound through McDonough, leaving Highway 155 up to Jonesboro Road. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. The clouds thinning out through this afternoon, high 75, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Clouds rolling back in for tomorrow, along with a few occasional rain showers, high 74. Thursday, mostly cloudy with hit or miss rain, high 73.
It is 71 degrees in Beaufort. Johns Creek, you have 74, and it's 77 in Forest Park. More news at 4 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
There's so much to be thankful for this time of year. Family, friends, and all the gatherings. I know that with Arrow Exterminators team by my side, our family get-togethers are always protected from unwanted guests. It's one less thing to worry about when everybody's coming over. With over 60 years of family-owned experience and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can trust them to keep your home pest free. Call 888-GO-ARROW to schedule your free pest inspection or visit arrowexterminators.com and tell them Belinda sent you.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Kamala Harris worked with Joe Biden to make things cost less for all Americans. Here are a few examples of what they did. They made a rule that prescription drugs can't cost more than $2,000 for people on Medicare like seniors and the disabled. They lowered the cost of inhalers to $35. They lowered hearing aid prices by making them available over the counter. And they lowered the price of insulin to $35 per month. Paid for by American Independent Radio.
Get back on your feet, medical bills paid, and your case resolved. SteelHorseLaw.com.
This is a great time of the year to be organized. That makes this a great time to connect with Artisan Custom Closets. They'll help you get organized while working within your budget. Simply go to ArtisanCustomClosets.com today and schedule a free consultation with one of their designers. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Christina Edwards here. If your home is like mine, it is built on our famous Georgia red clay, which absorbs moisture and is very slow to dry out. It can cause a drainage issue in your crawl space, potentially growing mold and producing that musty smell. But call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will walk you through the issue and only suggest the repairs you need to solve the problem. Visit AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com to schedule your free in-home consultation.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
Made this mistake twice. Yesterday when we were talking about it, and today. Phil from Wings of Pegasus did not prove that Lady Gaga wasn't live. It was obvious she wasn't live. Celine Dion. He proved that Celine Dion could not have done her thing from the Olympics live. Was that the closing ceremony or the opening? Was it the, I don't know.
I believe it was the closing. Oh, you're right. It's
hey, you two, fight it out.
I
don't remember. I believe Greg Russ is joining us because he just likes to be part of the show. He wants to come in and be part of the show. And I guess it's time for...
He's a misanthrope, he has a dark heart, and he needs a good psychiatrist. New York. It's Greg Russ with stories from Studio B1.
Tuesday edition, Election Day edition.
I hope, I gotta say, Greg, how are you?
I'm all right.
Sound better. Throat sounds better than yesterday.
Yeah, feeling better.
Getting better, but
I had to get into shape for today. Big day.
Man, oh man.
Had a scarf all day.
There was this thing that went on. I just watched it go on in our text thread, but Greg was, I thought, kind of moved to anger. Over some story about a club and people were loud.
Well, no,
and then you guys started making jokes, and then Greg kind of like this is not a joking matter.
No, here's what happened. Autumn, well, I don't want to give away who Autumn said she voted for. Somebody on the show said they did a write-in vote for president.
Yes.
And they said they wrote in Jimmy Carter. Then they showed a picture of Jimmy Carter
sitting
in a wheelchair.
Wait. Don't bust people.
That's all right.
No, it's not all right because it's not the kind of humor that the von Hessler doctrine gets involved with. It's not a joke that we would ever tell. It's kind of a dark joke.
It's an inside text.
It's an inside
Wait, what joke
text.
are you talking about?
The Jimmy Carter one. I would never. The Jimmy Carter's 100. I'm not going to make jokes.
I'm not joking about him. This is why I got angry.
I know you're angry now, but what I'm saying is, don't want that going out over my airwaves. That's what I'm saying. So just.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you what other people said. I
Yes.
was just going to say that there was a picture of him and he had a blanket that had his wife's face on it, and I thought that was sweet.
Yes.
Because you lose someone you love, and then, you know,
Right.
how do you deal
I
with
thought
life?
the whole breakdown was over this. Oh no! Then you compared it to a night at a club, because this is the real point. Greg cannot stand off-duty comedians. He does not like the way comedians sit around and for 3-4 hours
One-up each other.
do nothing but one up each other. But I used to be in that world, and that's kind of how you come up with new material.
If you're working together, sure. These people did not work together. It was, oh, you took a breath in your 15-minute diatribe about God knows what, and I'm going to use that as an opportunity to jump in and throw a zinger at you.
But I mean, that's the way that comedians talk to each other. That's just a natural kind of style. So how many years ago did this happen? He still can't walk past this place without flashbacks.
Right, he's got to reclaim it.
It was probably 2010. There was a bar that
How could this still even be in your head?
Because it was such a god-awful night. So I met up with my friend who was in the local comedy scene, and he was hanging out with his comedian buddies, and we sat at a table, had some drinks, and there were a few instances where an interesting conversation got going, and it would just come to a screeching halt because somebody had to throw in their dumb joke. And there was like 6 of these people, and it just, to me, it was the most surface level, desperate conversation ever. So I just got up and left, and I've never been back to that bar since because it's seared in
I
my
want to say,
brain.
I think that we used to have a place where we all lived. This was 100 years ago, but comedians would come back. We had a bunch of, and we'd just go all night long, just back and forth, riffing, one-upping.
And laughing,
And
right?
laughing. And, yeah, I think that that's just something you just don't like. I think you just don't dig it. But if you're in it, it's kind of fun. You know, there was this guy. He didn't get famous, but in the mid to late 80s, early 90s, on the club circuit, this Canadian comedian Mike McDonald, but he wasn't taking care of business or whatever. Was that them? No, that's
Bachman Turner.
I'm taking you to the street. Taking it to the streets.
There you go.
So yeah, he was brilliant, and he was antisocial, and he didn't like anybody. He'd only come through town every once in a while, but his act was some nights just unstoppable. There was a famous night at a small club where at 2 a.m. they just locked the door, and he kept going for another hour, and that was when he was hooked on heroin, I think. So I found out later that what he would do is he would gather these comedians in Canada all at his house, and he would provide all the booze and the drugs and everything, and then he would start taping everybody as they were riffing, and then the next day they all forgot the material. He had it on tape.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And he would go with it. So it can be used as a workshop, Greg. That's all that I'm saying.
I agree, Ken. I agree. There's some circumstances, though, where you're not building with each other. You're not throwing ideas around. It's really just, I need to one-up you now.
Yeah,
Maybe I had a bad night on the open mic stage, and I got to prove myself to myself.
I think probably they're overboard and you're too sensitive. Somewhere in the middle is the reality.
It's also dependent on mood.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to have an actual conversation about things, and you throw jokes in. It's a nice balance of things. But when it just derails everything, it can be annoying.
Well, obviously to you, it was 14 years ago.
Can't even go to that poor bar anymore. Nothing the bar did.
He refuses to go to the bar because he gets flashbacks of that night. That seems a little extreme.
Is it a nice bar with good food and beer?
It's a normal bar. The food's pretty good for bar food.
Yeah.
But it's not.
You got to go with the right friend group next time. Go right.
I'm going to go with him, and everything he starts to say, I'm just going to throw in a zinger.
All right.
I'm going to force him to have kind of like a flashback meltdown, like Henry Winkler at the end of that movie where he sees the mailman on fire because he's having a Vietnam flashback.
I'll just get up and leave, and I won't tell you. It'll take you 15 minutes to figure it out. For those guys, they probably never figured it out because they were so wrapped up in their own heads.
And maybe they didn't care if you stayed or went. Did that ever occur to you?
No, yeah, it occurred to me. They're probably relieved I left because I was
probably
getting them a dose of reality that they weren't funny.
Oh, what were you doing? Just sitting there not laughing at everything they said? Staring at them?
Yes. Just staring straight ahead.
Yeah, you're an odd one, but I love you. I love odd people, and you are the oddest, my friend. So you have most of my heart for your oddities. Now, did you vote today?
I did early voting.
Okay.
I voted last week.
All right. So you feel good about your vote?
To me, the most important thing is the propositions that actually probably affect my life on the ballot.
That's true. Do we have a lot of propositions on this one today in Atlanta?
Depending on what county you were in.
Right.
I know I
But
did.
in-
Like the big one for me was the Homestead one. Like I thought that that they absolutely should expand that because that makes a tremendous difference on my taxes.
You're subsidized by that, so you want more
Well,
of that program.
mine, I got.
Do you in fact get something out of this program that you voted for more of?
Not
I'm
the
asking-
homesteading one. I got a different one through the city of Atlanta called the pioneering discount or whatever it's called. And
Out of town that other people lived in for quite a while, but you know,
Hey,
nobody lived in my area.
First of all,
my area was a warehouse.
I went to his that place. The covered wagon is still parked on the street. So
Got
he's
some arrows in it.
He's a true pioneer.
The oxens in the backyard.
Yes.
That's right.
And so, but it's the type of thing that you like.
Yes. So, like, in my opinion,
Maybe if BlackRock wasn't buying all the property, you wouldn't need it.
I know. I saw an article today. I almost sent it to you, Eric, about how people were praising the idea of these rental homes
Of
that
course.
are for young
I don't
families.
have to
And I'm
think
like-
about it.
Oh,
And I'm
they've
like,
been
no, that's
selling.
a terrible
They've been
idea.
selling Gen
It's
Z
awful.
on you'll own nothing and you'll love it because Gen Z is so idealistic with whether or not going to choose paper or plastic bags. They never step back long enough to think, hey, wait a minute. The only known way to build wealth in the history of the world is to own things. And they tell me I shouldn't own anything. And they'll be the landlords, and they'll be the ones I send my subscription money to. Everything should be subscription. Don't own a car in the future. Just have a subscription to an automated car company.
I've got my Uber
It'll
card.
Come as soon as you need it.
Those bags you talk about, paper, plastic, you'll be renting those. Take them home. If you don't return them on time, you get a late fee.
I think using vehicles as an example is maybe the worst, since they all lose value the moment you drive them off. But land? Listen, 24-year-old, 25-year-old. Don't buy it. If you want to gain wealth, you cannot subscribe to everything. You cannot rent everything. There's only one known way to gather wealth while you're on the planet, and that's own things.
Election day is here.
And Georgia, we have an opportunity.
We have a big, a beautiful lead.
The polls say it's a dead heat.
Whatever happens in this election, we still have work to
We've got election day covered.
If we let this slip away, we should have our heads examined.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB.
Your 2024 election station.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Dave Baker here for Air Quality Systems. If you haven't had your heating and air ducts cleaned in the last 5 years, you need Air Quality Systems. They'll come to your house and clean all that gunk out of your ductwork. That's all they do. They won't wash your siding. They won't clean your carpet. They'll just professionally clean your ducts to the same standards using the same process that they use to clean at UGA, at Children's Healthcare, and at other major hospitals in the metro area. You'll get upfront, all-in pricing over the phone, and your ducts will be clean. Simply go to airqualitysystems.com and breathe easy.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Some home problems are obvious. You know what's broken and who to call. But not every issue is simple. Doug Turnbull here for the only folks I trust with the foundation of my home, Atlanta Ramjack. A few years back, I saw cracks in my drywall. I called the best in the business, Ramjack. They did a free inspection and put my mind at ease. I didn't have a foundation issue. No overselling, just an honest assessment. Foundation problems are not always obvious, so trust who I trust. Just Google Atlanta Ramjack.
Why should you do your shopping at D. Geller & Son this holiday season? Because you don't want to end up like shouldn't have case number 674.
Okay, everyone, let's open our gifts. Honey, you go first.
Oh, perfume. You really shouldn't have.
It's in my throat.
It's in my eyes.
What? It's not that bad.
Shouldn't have gone with the perfume. This year, take the risk out of holiday shopping with a beautiful gift from D. Geller & Son. A breath of fresh air since 1939.
There's so much to be thankful for this time of year. Family, friends, and all the gatherings. I know that with Arrow Exterminator's team by my side, our family get-togethers are always protected from unwanted guests. It's one less thing to worry about when everybody's coming over. With over 60 years of family-owned experience and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can trust them to keep your home pest-free. Call 888-GO-ARROW to schedule your free pest inspection or visit arrowexterminators.com and tell them Belinda sent you.
Bill Crane will be in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk a lot about the elections. And then this show will end at 6 p.m. and we go to a roundtable featuring myself, Eric Erickson, Mark Aram, Shelley Winter. Chris Chandler is the host of that. And we'll do that from 6 to 8. And then what? We just we do election results after that, right?
That's right. I know Bill Crane's going to be on late into the night. Shelley's going on till 3.
Shelley's going to be on till 3.
Oh, can't wait. I can't wait. Trump's going to take it all by midnight. That's my prediction.
First, when he told me that, I said, is everything all right at home? Something I need to know. 3 o'clock in the morning. That's a hell of a shift.
He just loves doing radio.
He does. He loves it, and he's great at it. And so I will say this: there's plenty of politics coming. But so last night, Monday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who do not have their 2 wide receivers, or was one of them back?
They were both out.
Both out. And
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
So here's the thing. This is my rule with the Kansas City Chiefs. Especially if it's a night game and I'm going to have to stay up late. If it's a team that is over 500 legitimately and they seem like a really good team, I will watch the game. But the Kansas City Chiefs are not looking spectacular this year on offense. They have a great defense. And they lead you to believe that the other team, the underdog, has a chance. And at about 8:30 last night, I said, am I going to take this ride? I'll just go to bed. I know who's going to win this game, and I'll wake up tomorrow and find out how it went down. And when I wake up tomorrow, part of what I'm going to find out is, because this is what I'm avoiding. You know, Kansas City Chiefs are a great team. They deserve everything that they've gotten. There is a genius head coach, I think the greatest head coach of all time, certainly the greatest offensive mind, even better than Bill Walsh, ever in the league. And they've got Patrick Mahomes, who's just a stunning talent. And so they deserve everything they have. But this is like the New England thing. I can't put up 20 more years of 31 teams can't figure out one team. And there's always some kind of personal meltdown. I woke up this morning and I saw it again. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a chance to win in regular time if they had gone for 2 points after a touchdown.
That's correct.
And they chose to tie it up and go into overtime.
They actually had multiple chances to win before then, too.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That was the big decision.
What I'm saying is they had the points on the board.
Yes.
With seconds left, they were 1 point down. They could have either kicked 1 point and tied it or gone for 2. And this is the thing that people don't understand. You don't play regular football, especially if you're not, the Ravens, maybe the Bills, Cincinnati Bengals, teams that have shown that at least in the regular season, they've got a real shot. against this team. You don't. Let me tell you something, Todd Bowles. You do know a little bit more about football than I do.
But he is listening. Big
I
fan.
will grant you that. Or anybody, when you have a chance at the kill shot against this team, you take it. You know what you don't do? You don't give 10 more minutes to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. If I was a Buccaneers fan, I would have applauded either outcome. You've got a chance. There's a kill shot there. You can send them home. Or they were in Kansas City, weren't they?
That's correct.
You can upset the entire crowd. And if you make the 2-point conversion, I'll applaud you if I'm a fan. And if you don't make it, I'll applaud you. Because I understand that I know it's counterintuitive to everything within football. But with this team, just as the Patriots during their dynasty, if you see a kill shot, you take it. Because I think it's hard to get a 2-point conversion, but it does happen. It's not like
You got Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
He's pretty scrappy.
There's a chance. It does happen. I don't know what the percentages are, but it's pretty high.
2 good running backs, too.
Yeah,
they do.
So you take that opportunity, no matter how low the probabilities for making that 2 points are, they're not as low as the probability of beating Kansas City when you hand Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes 10 minutes.
It's
to work with.
47.5%. So it's a pretty high percentage.
Yeah, it's almost, it's 50-50. You know, it's not 50. And also what happens, and I don't know why it happens in the NFL. You know, they say it's a game of inches. But if you're a team that's as good as the Kansas City Chiefs, then the football starts bouncing your way. The inches kind of come to you because you're so locked in, you're so focused. And I'd like to see the percentage of overtime coin tosses. It seems like the Chiefs always get them.
The football gods are always in their favor.
Yeah, you get the football gods in your favor. And it's because and by the way, again, they deserve everything they have. Hats off to them. But I'm not in the fan base. So I'm not going through this for another 20 minutes. I don't ever want to hear Blue 80 unless I think the other team actually has a chance to win.
I think the reason why, and again,
don't forget the Taylor Swift stuff. It's just annoying.
She was there.
Of course she was.
I think the reason why Todd Bowles went for 1 in that scenario, because I watched that game last night, is because the mistake was actually made when they got first and goal. They got first and goal. There was 30 seconds left on the clock. They ended up scoring. I think it took 2 downs. There was 27 seconds left. Kansas City had 3 timeouts left.
Right.
So if they had gone for 2, I guess the thought was if they do get it, you know how Patrick Mahomes can drive
but
down the field.
it takes longer to go for 2. It doesn't change anything. It takes longer. You're going to take more time off the clock going for 2, especially if Baker's got to kind of run around a little bit, than you will just kicking a field goal. How much time comes off the clock? 1 second? 2 at the most?
I don't think the clock runs during extra point.
No.
So I don't. So you're going to.
I'm saying that once they had scored, there was about 27
I know,
seconds.
but that doesn't change.
But you're
based
up a
on
point,
going for
and
2 or 1.
I'm making.
You're up a point if you get the 2, and then Kansas City still drives. Let's say because the time's on the clock, they drive and kick a field goal, then they win. But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't change anything.
I think
that
what Todd Bowles was trying to do. This is just again me.
You're not making any sense.
I am making sense.
No, you're not, because there's no difference in. They're still going to get the ball with like 25 seconds left either way.
But if you end up making the 2-point conversion there, you know that Patrick Mahomes is more likely to put it into that next gear, get yourself in field goal range, and win in regulation. If you end up just kicking the field goal
you
there,
can punt it down there.
He ended up not being as aggressive.
Look,
they played for overtime, and Patrick Mahomes was playing with a sore ankle.
We're
too.
9 weeks into the season, after all the camp and the pre-camp and the mini-camp and the mandatory camp and the whatever. Hold the lead for 25 seconds. Trust your team to hold the lead. All right, this is not a sports show, and it's election day. So we'll come back. We'll get on to that boring election stuff.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And Metashare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Christina Edwards here. If your home is like mine, it is built on our famous Georgia red clay, which absorbs moisture and is very slow to dry out. It can cause a drainage issue in your crawl space, potentially growing mold and producing that musty smell. But call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will walk you through the issue and only suggest the repairs you need to solve the problem. Visit AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com to schedule your free in-home consultation.
American Crawl Space Solutions. Foundations too.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing, the honest plumber. Like me, Superior Plumbing has been doing business for more than 40 years. Trust me, to last that long takes dedication to doing the job right and building trust with your customer base. I've used Superior Plumbing for years, and owner Jay Cunningham is committed to making you a customer for life, too. Next time you need a plumber, visit thehonestplumber.com.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Hi there. Good afternoon. It is 4 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by QC Kinetics. It's Election Day, and Georgia is a battleground state. We have 16 electoral votes up for grabs, and voters here in Georgia have been turning out in record numbers. The economy seems to be a big driving force for voters out in Cobb County. Stephen telling us he hopes to see what he hopes to see after the new president takes office.
Groceries to go down, more jobs created, cost of living to be reduced overall.
And WSB's Austin Eller has been out and about today. He's at a precinct in Fulton County this afternoon and joins us live.
Yeah, Sabrina, I've now made it up to Buckhead. I'm now at the Buckhead Library. I continue to see what I've kind of seen throughout the afternoon, and that is a very small number of voters currently making their way to the polls. I suspect that'll certainly change in the 5 and 6 o'clock hours once people are off work. It was certainly much busier this morning between the hours of 7 and 10 or so. Now, I spoke with voter Josh Santee earlier today, and he tells me one thing is on his mind for the presidential election.
The economy. I think the economy is pretty much, the inflation going up. Trying to pick that right person to actually, help us out with that.
Lines continue to be almost non-existent at polls across the state. Reporting live in Fulton County, Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says it has been a fast and easy process to vote so far. At last check, he says overall voters here in Georgia were able to get in and out in less than 4 minutes on average. And there were some threats that came from Russia, he says, but they caught them.
Georgia's not going to be intimidated. The Russia has just decided they picked on the wrong Georgia. They need to pick on the other one in the Black Sea, because we're not going to be intimidated.
And Raffensperger says we might get some news early tonight.
All the early votes that we have for the early voting in person and all the absentees that have come in early and have been accepted, all that has to be uploaded 1 hour after the polls close. And you think about that, that's probably 65% of the total votes, maybe even 70%.
And the polls do close at 7 tonight, but at least 2 polling locations in Cobb County will be open a little bit later. They're going to be open past 7 o'clock.
In separate incidents at 2 Cobb polling locations, the workers had some trouble getting the system online, so Cobb went to court.
Cobb County Superior Court Judge Ann Harris issued an order a short time ago that will allow 2 precincts in the county to remain open late until 7:20 p.m. because they didn't open until 7:20 a.m. this morning.
Cobb spokesman Ross Cavett says voters in those 20 minutes will vote a provisional ballot, which simply means it's counted but kept separate, usually in case there is future litigation. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so those locations are Mount Perrin Church of God on Allgood Road in Marietta, and the other is Kell High School location in Marietta. The openings were delayed because of those issues this morning. Well, besides voting for president in Cobb County, they'll also be deciding a mobility special purpose local sales tax. It would add 1 cent sales tax to fund transit projects in that county. And in Gwinnett, voters there will be voting on a SPLOST referendum. That's a 1% tax to fund transit projects in Gwinnett. There are some amendments, too, that people will be voting on here in Georgia. One deals with homestead exemptions. Another would create a special tax court. And then the third would deal with property tax exemptions. Washington, D.C. is preparing for any possible unrest due to the election. The Secret Service has put up a new 8-foot-tall metal fence around several key sites, including the White House, the Vice President's house. Businesses have also been seen boarding up windows. Capitol Police increasing staffing, while D.C. officers will work 12-hour shifts. The D.C. police chief saying that they are ready to handle many different scenarios. Stay tuned throughout this election day. Check back often for updates. Our in-depth election night coverage starts at 6 this evening with a special roundtable. It'll feature all the WSB hosts. We'll have complete coverage of all the races and results as they start to come in. And then tomorrow during Atlanta's Morning News, right here on 95.5 WSB, we are your 2024 election station. Let's take a look at the markets. We've been up all day, and we still are. The Dow's up 427 at 42,221. The Dow up more than 1%. NASDAQ's up almost 1.5%, and the S&P exceeding 1%. It's 4:04. That means it's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Smiling Mark McKay with a look at the roads.
Been a rough go of it, Sabrina, through Douglasville with a crash that lingered in 2 right lanes. Travel advisory I-20 eastbound past Chapel Hill Road, exit 36. There's been extra pressure put on Highway 78. That's still a good alternate. There are westbound delays as well past the flashing lights on the other side of the roadway. The ride to the northern suburbs, busiest going to be around Spaghetti Junction, where 85 meets 285 in DeKalb County. Crashed a busy intersection in Gwinnett County. We see on the Jam Cam Highway 29 at Sugarloaf Parkway causing a slowdown. Let's go downtown with the help of Kobe Dawkins, Coolray Carrier Traffic Center.
And it's starting to look jammed up on the downtown connector, 7585 northbound. Those brake lights starting at University Avenue around the Grady Curve, and southbound delays starting at 17th Street to I-20. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Clouds thinning out and a few hours of sunshine for today. High 75, lows tonight in the mid-60s. However, the cloud cover rolls back in for tomorrow, along with a few hit-or-miss rain showers. High 74. Thursday, mostly cloudy with occasional rain showers. High 73.
All right, and now still at 78 degrees. Snellville, you have 73. And out in Winder in Barrow County, it's 73 degrees. We'll have more news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupit, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. And according to Newsweek, by the way, Greg Russ is with us. According to Newsweek, which I don't even know what they are anymore. I guess they're an online entity. Driving deaths surge on election days, according to new studies. So be careful. Be careful out there, because most voting happens while the sun's up. So if you're but sometimes these things are put into these sort of annexed. It's the annex to the high school. There's like 10 parking spaces, and so getting out, people are coming in, they're walking in with their kids. Just got to be careful.
The DJ's fire too. Why would you leave?
Yeah, there was a DJ in front of the polling place. By the way, even now that I don't vote, they actually moved the polling place closer to me, literally at the end of the street. Right across the street from my neighborhood is now where it is. And I noticed that there was like DJs or something
at yours.
There. Yeah, like at a synagogue, which is right across the street from me. There's like DJs and stuff at a tent. And I'm just thinking,
what do they want you to do? Hang out and dance?
There were a few people hanging out and dancing. I'm just thinking, like, are there young people who are just walking by? They're like, wow, that's cool, DJ. And then he's like, hey, man, voting's for free. Are you registered? Go in and vote. Hey, I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, yes.
Smoke.
I don't quite get it. I don't get the whole. Isn't it supposed to be a kind of a not somber experience, but
it's a party these days.
It's supposed to be like a serious undertaking,
Well, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I understand it can't be like a circus, but it could just
MTV back when Autumn and I were in our teens, getting to voting age, like they started really driving it home, but they made it sound
rock
fun.
the vote,
vote or die.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's funny that they had all
that was Diddy.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. I saw. Was it Elon on Joe Rogan? Was talking about how J-Lo wants you to vote for Kamala Harris to protect women, and J-Lo never protected it, never warned anyone about Diddy.
Does she have that much pull anyway? Her concert didn't sell.
Well, I know. I
So
don't.
she
Look, I don't
canceled the
think
whole tour.
endorsements. I mean, I heard this morning Joe Rogan endorsed Trump with hours to go. How many people? I was still on the fence at noon.
They were waiting.
But when I found out, that swayed me. I don't think endorsements. I don't know how much they've ever done, but I certainly think that they've lost.
Too many people do them.
It's like you don't even need the trials and everything. Common sense says everybody in the music business knew for over 20 years. That's what's in people's minds. They don't need.
Oh, you're talking about the Diddy thing?
Yeah, the Diddy thing. Like
voting.
No. What I'm saying is people are now just so. They recognize that they're not getting the full story. We are a lot like, it's interesting. The United States has become, if you go study it a little bit, a lot like the Soviet Union in its last decades. Like in its last decade, really. Like I know a lot of people who went, I don't know them personally, but I've read from people who visited the Soviet Union in from 85 to 90. No one on the streets believed anything the government was telling them. They would read the newspapers, which were still a thing, newspapers at the time, but they had developed a kind of a savvy to figure out where the real truth was. Nobody took anything at face value, and I think that's where we're getting.
Without the savvy.
Well, without the savvy. I don't know how much savvy they had, but, it was a dictatorship, so they weren't going to get out of line. So we have a lot more paths where people can get ugly with each other, and that's kind of the path that we've taken. But it's very interesting that we compare a lot to that, because I think that's how most people are. They recognize that whatever media you're digesting, they want one or the other party to be in power. And they're kind of like funneling and filtering things through that. And most people, some people are strictly in one camp and only watch MSNBC all day, and some people only watch Fox News all day. But I'm talking about humans. And most humans, just sort of the world's a bit of a all-you-can-eat buffet. A little here, a little there, see a little bit of this, see a little bit of that, put it all together. But at this point, it's just become obvious to people that everybody's got an angle. That's really what it is. Before you even get too cynical, everybody's got an angle. Elon Musk yesterday on Rogan saying democracy dies if Trump doesn't win. Oprah Winfrey last night. We'll never be able to vote again. Well, what are you basing that on?
It is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
It is entirely, I love the choice of those two words. Entirely possible. Those don't seem like two words you should put together. 100% maybe. And also Oprah, not for nothing. Where was she speaking? Does anybody know where she was speaking?
It was during the Kamala rally. I'm just not sure where it was.
Same one with J-Lo and
J-Lo cried at a Kamala rally a couple weeks ago.
Oprah, not for nothing, but you're probably the only person in the building that has been to parties with Donald Trump. You're probably the only person in the building that's had lunch with Donald Trump. You're probably the only person in the building that's had dinner with Donald Trump, that's socialized with Donald Trump. But now you're here to tell us, oh, that was wrong from me. I misjudged the guy. From I attend parties with this person to if he's elected, it's entirely possible. I'm assuming she was saying that minorities. I'm assuming it's minorities. She's not saying no one will ever be able to vote again.
I took it as her saying
everybody.
Correct. Yeah, everyone. The whole system's going to be trashed when he's elected, and good luck. He's never leaving office.
Look around, Oprah. The whole system is trashed. Nobody believes, or nobody, some people, but a great majority of people don't believe the CDC when they give their latest guidance.
Well, they did that to themselves.
Yeah, it's
doesn't
never
change what you're saying.
When an institution, that's the point. It's always the point. This is what we don't talk about. When an institution loses the faith of the people, it's never the people's fault. And there are reasons. CDC says give your 3-year-old boosters. Go look. What's the percentage? The youngest that a person can get the vaccination and what are the percentages? So the institution that says we're about health, we're telling you get your infants immunized. I think it's less than 3%. Again, go back to that old Soviet Union thing. Blah, 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 blah. Is this going to hurt me? Ultimately, how can I act without getting hurt? I don't really believe any of this nonsense. And it's a shame because the Soviet Union, nor Russia, nor most of the countries in the world have a First Amendment, a free press.
It says here 10% of children aged 6 to 23 months got the COVID vaccine.
That's all of it, though. That's in the scare. I'm talking about now. Like when the scare is over and the fear is gone, and they're telling, because they just got a new one. It's like, it's like 0.6. Because people are just, they understand. They may not know exactly what's going on, but they are, like in the Soviet Union in the late 80s, they know that they're not being given the true story. They're busy. They've got jobs. They're trying to live a life, raise a family. They don't have time to look into the details of every legislative package. That's what their news reporting is supposed to do. So I think we end up in this situation where whoever wins tonight, the media is going to act like it's a movement that whatever. I believe people are just making decisions about the lesser of two evils like they always do. Like I said yesterday, this has come down to a contest between her emptiness and his over-the-topness. Like, I don't know, is this extra group of people who are like, these prices are outrageous. They said they would do that. We got to get rid of this. Maybe they think all the lawfare and everything isn't good. Are they the people who come out in the end and sort of push it over? Or is this other group of people who just go, I can't take 4 more years of that with Trump? Like, do they end up being, I can't put up with it every day, I just can't go through that again. Are they the ones who eventually decide the election? I don't know, but I know there's a lot.
Maybe you're swaying somebody who's listening on their WSB radio app in line right now.
Well, you're being swayed by somebody who no longer votes. So what does that say about you? Should you be in that line? Should you be allowed to vote? Good question.
There's a DJ. Then it's not a bad place to be.
You get the DJ, get the sticker.
Yeah.
Good reasons.
Yeah, he throws confetti out. Fantastic.
Rip Taylor.
Holy mackerel. Wow. Smiling Mark says there's a travel advisory on 20 in Douglasville.
Unusual delays as well, Eric, inbound. This is an inbound crash that hasn't gone away out of the 2 right lanes. I-20 eastbound past Chapel Hill Road, exit 36. With those eastbound delays, you can use Highway 78 that runs north of I-20. Of course, westbound spectator slowing now has you slow back toward exit 37. That is Highway 92 Fairburn Road. So be aware of the delays in and out of Douglasville this afternoon. The 285 story now from Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Yeah, going to start on the west side of town. Crash clearing from the left lane. 285 northbound, the inner loop over at South Atlanta Road, exit 16. The rest of 285 going to stop and go you. 285 westbound, southbound. The outer loop's leaving Sandy Springs, so around Georgia 400 down to I-20 over on the west side. And 285 east and southbound, you're going to stop and go as you leave Dunwoody and head over to Highway 78. This report brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It's election day.
In Georgia, we have an opportunity.
And as the votes get
We
counted,
have a big,
beautiful count on us for updates throughout the day and night.
We still have work to do.
It all comes down to your vote.
And we've got it
If
covered.
we let this slip away, we should have our heads
And beginning at 6 p.m., listen for our special in-depth election coverage with results and analysis.
95.5 WSB, your 2024 election station.
Switch your termite protection to Breda, and your rate is locked in for 10 years. Dave Baker here. When was the last time you actually saw your termite company inspect your home? If the answer is never, and they raised your rate again, you better call Breda. Breda Pest Management is better at keeping termites out, and they'll lock in your termite rate for 10 years. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Have your previous remodeling experiences been stressful? Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Use Exovations and get a completely different experience. We're a state licensed contractor, show up on time, provide you a project schedule, a fixed price, and your project delivered on time, on budget, and without all that stress that you usually hear about in construction. Schedule your free quote today at exovations.com.
Motorcycle riders like you are a different breed. You don't just ride your bike, you're obsessed. So if someone causes you to lay your bike down, you need a different kind of attorney, one that understands bikers and their rights. Eric Von Hessler here for my friends at Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group, motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. You can trust them on the road and in the courtroom. Steel Horse Law can help you get back on your feet, medical bills paid, and your case resolved. Trust is everything, and results matter. Free case evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Belinda here for Atlanta Vision Institute. Stephen is an actual patient of Dr. Ashraf, and I want him to share his testimonial with you.
I wanted to get rid of the glasses, and I wanted a procedure where I could see close and also far distance. So I got laser optics on my right eye, and then a week later I got it on my left eye, and I played golf for the first time in over 6 years without my glasses last week, and it was fantastic. And I'm actually able to see the computer. I'm so excited to be able to do activities without having to wear glasses, shooting and playing golf and working out at the gym. I can see the combination on the lock to be able to open my locker without having to use my glasses and keep my glasses in my pocket at the gym.
If you'd like to see like Stephen, go to 2020atlanta.com to find out more information and take the quiz to see if this procedure is a good option for you. That's 2020atlanta.com. Your medical insurance may cover part of it.
The biggest mistake a homeowner can make when doing an addition or home renovation is they go right to a builder or contractor. This is a reasonable mistake to make. But why? Because you need a plan. You need architectural documents to convey your ideas to a builder. Hi, I'm Richard Taylor, Chief Architect with Sketchhouse. Let's get those marvelous ideas out of your head and onto paper, and now the power is in your hands. Builders will clear their calendars for you if you have architectural drawings in hand. Visit sketchhouse.com, sketch, H-A-U-S.com, and let's get started.
Yeah, J-Lo didn't warn anybody about Diddy, but she wants to warn the country about Trump. And you just brought up a good point. Oprah almost surely knew about Weinstein and Diddy. There's no way these people didn't know, especially Weinstein. Seth MacFarlane made a joke about it when he hosted the Oscars. And there was a laugh from the audience. Do you laugh at things when you don't get the reference?
Yeah.
What keeps people from speaking out, though?
Money.
Well, to some degree, well, first of all, Weinstein was very powerful. He not only would do these highfalutin movies, but he had a system for getting Academy Awards. People were complaining about it for years, especially the year that young Shakespeare in Love beat Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
But there's always someone, I have to assume, who doesn't need Weinstein's power, feels a little untouchable when it comes to him, and you feel like that person would speak
They've got
out.
some stuff. You think Jack Nicholson doesn't have some stuff, some skeletons in the closet? You don't think that these people, Meryl Streep gets out there every year and says, vote Democrat. You think she didn't know?
She thanked Harvey.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. He not only got you, when you got into one of his movies, and if it was most of his movies were prestige movies, and so you had a chance of not only being nominated, but winning. He figured out the lobbying of votes and how you do it. And so he
Can
just
whip
had a lot
up
of
the
power.
votes.
Why didn't people speak out against Michael Jackson? A lot of people are making money. A lot of people. So I don't get why these people are taken seriously in any way. I mean, it's quite obvious. Like another thing, just because I watched that Elon Rogan thing. You know, Rogan was making the point. You hear like years ago, it was like, Hollywood's a pedophile factory and all these things. You go, oh, come on. Wait, you know. And then you see the Nickelodeon thing. And these charges against Diddy, which, by the way, when it comes to Diddy, I'd like to point something out. He is innocent until proven guilty. There's already leaks coming out from the prosecution. This guy's as bad as Epstein. We've seen the stuff. That's called jury tampering. When you read those stories, know what's going on. It's jury tampering. That an inside source that an investigation says he hasn't seen anything this bad since Jeffrey Epstein. It's jury tampering.
It's the number 1 hit.
Thank you. I think it's too bad I didn't do it at the beginning of the summer. It has a summertime feel hit to me.
It does.
It does. Hey, we better do this word of the day because I'm only on till 6 o'clock. So let's go ahead.
Word of the day.
Turbid.
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 Turbid is T-U-R-B-I-D. It is an adjective. It can mean either a cloudy, opaque, or thick with suspended matter, like a liquid. But I didn't pick it for that because that's a purely kind of scientific thing. I wouldn't do that to you. It's the second definition that is the reason I picked it. Confused or obscure in meaning or effect.
Turbid.
Which means I already know what my sentence is going to be. But that is the rule on the word of the day, the host of the show, whether he voted today or not, and whether that pisses you off or not. By the end of the show, today's show will end at 6, so we can do our special roundtable on the election.
Is the table actually round, by the way?
As I recall, the last one was.
Okay, all right. Yeah. You guys are honest in your branding. That's
well,
good.
And Ken, program director, is like, nobody leaves early.
No, you stay until the end.
I think he's going to lock the doors.
No food either.
So I got to use that word
Turbid.
in a natural or organic way before 6 p.m. Greg, you're sticking around, I believe. That's what I've heard. Are you sticking around? Because
I will until you kick me off.
I think when Bill Crane comes in, we'll kick you off. But that's for another hour. It's a
long time.
It's a long time. We can do an awful lot together. A lot of damage that we can do together in that hour, and I look forward to it.
.426 delays through downtown Atlanta, 75-85 southbound, leaving 17th Street to I-20. Really slowing that 85 right, leaving 400. Northbound, not so bad. Tap of the brakes north of I-20. Worst of it on 285 has to be that slow ride between Doraville, Tucker, and the Stone Mountain Freeway on the inner loop, leaving Buford Highway past Highway 78. I-20 has been not good in Douglasville. Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, and that travel advisory remains. I-20 eastbound east of Chapel Hill Road, exit 36. Crash continues to knock out 2 right lanes, seeing delays back to Highway 5. Use Highway 78 as an alternate. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It gets dark earlier in the fall, making your commute more difficult. Hey, it's Smile and Mark McKay. Been hit? Trust the strong arm John Foy and Associates. With zero upfront cost, they'll protect you against the pitiful payout from the big insurance companies. JohnFoy.com.
Dave Baker here for Air Quality Systems. You know them, my air duct cleaning experts. Okay, so here's the deal on why you should have your air ducts cleaned. I can sum it up in about 5 words. Gunk gets in your ductwork. Either it's outside air gunk like pollen, or it's condensation from having a very hot summer, which can create mold, or it's pet hair, or it's bugs and critters making a nest. It's all gunk. and it's not healthy to breathe. That's why you need Air Quality Systems. They will come to your house and clean all that gunk out of your ductwork. That's all they do. They won't wash your siding. They won't clean your carpet. They'll just clean your ducts to the same standards using the same process that they use to clean at UGA, at Children's Healthcare, and at other major hospitals in the metro area. You'll get upfront, all-in pricing over the phone, and your ducts will be clean, providing you with cleaner air to breathe and adding years to the life of your HVAC equipment. Simply go to airqualitysystems.com and breathe easy. That's airqualitysystems.com.
Don't get trapped for another year with overpriced health insurance. Eric Erickson for Hip Nation. Many small business owners are now evaluating their health insurance plan renewals. Visit hipnation.com to learn about the amazing savings and great health care you can provide for your employees. Go to hipnation.com.
Every single month that you wait to call Myland is just another month where you've likely paid more than you should have on your mortgage. This is Scott Slade. The time to act is now. Everything is moving in the right direction for you to start saving on your mortgage. No matter your scenario, Myland has seen it. Reverse mortgages for you or your parents, specialty purchase programs, cash out refinances, second mortgages, rental properties, VA and FHA. Mortgages are Myland's specialty. And when you've been doing it as long as they have, you've seen it all. I've been saying it for years, and it's still true today. Myland is constantly closing loans other lenders just can't close. The Fed is starting to lower rates, so your time to act is now. Take a few minutes out of your day and call my friends at Myland. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. Myland's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
For heaven's sakes, y'all, don't cook this Thanksgiving. This is Tom Murphy, and for over 40 years, Murphy's Restaurant in the Virginia Highlands has offered exquisite, complete takeaway meals, including roast turkey breast and all the fixings, including your choice of a whole pie. You can even add wine to the order. Just pick up, heat, and eat. Let our talented chefs handle everything. Just go to murphysatlanta.com. That's murphysatlanta.com. Order today, murphysatlanta.com.
Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. Are you a plumber but looking for a better work-life balance? Superior Plumbing is looking for a few good plumbers to join their team. They offer a stable career with great pay and benefits. More importantly, you can build your career with a trusted company.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 4:30. Good afternoon. I'm Sabrina Cupid. The news is sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Have you voted? So what was it that brought you out to the polls?
We have a voice, and this is probably a neck and neck election, and I think that the vote really matters.
It was really important because this is going to determine what's going to happen for the next 4 years.
So far, the process has been easy and fast, says Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger as he hears from voters today.
And we're just really grateful we're getting feedback, but we're so grateful that we're having a check-in time right now under a minute.
But there were some threats made earlier today that they say were linked to Russia. The Secretary of State says Russia needs to know
Georgia's not going to be intimidated.
There are 16 electoral votes up for grabs here in Georgia, so we are a battleground state. That means the nation will be watching tonight. A college student from the metro area hoped to vote absentee, but a lost ballot forced her to change her plans. Ella Hiley is in her final year at Virginia Tech.
I applied for an absentee ballot as early as I could. I believe it was in August sometime. And I've voted absentee a few times before and I've never had issues, but I did not ever get my ballot.
And she says with the high stakes in this election, she decided to go ahead and drive the 6 hours home to vote in person and then make that long drive back to school. Stacey Lynn reporting this afternoon that many younger voters are hitting the polls for the first time today. This voter's in Snellville.
First time voting and with my son.
Montasir Chowdhury cast his ballot, his baby in red and white footy pajamas in his arms.
If we want our kids to follow some footsteps, we should start them young. And, at 11 months old, he came with his dad to the first time voting.
And he had this message for others.
I just hope people treat each other, like a genuine person, not just based on who you vote.
And the polls close at 7 tonight, but they're going to stay open a little bit longer, 20 minutes later at 2 locations in Cobb County. That's because they were delayed in opening this morning. Cobb spokesman Ross Cavett telling us why.
The poll workers at those 2 particular precincts had difficulty getting the equipment online in time to open the doors at 7 o'clock. So we went straight to the judge and asked for the extension.
All right, so those two locations would be the Mount Perrin Church of God in Marietta and the Kell High School location in Marietta. They're going to be open until 7:20 tonight. We have 72 degrees right now in Midtown, and there is more rain in the forecast, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. Another important state in this election is North Carolina, and voting security has been on the minds of voters there.
I'm Jim Crisell in Cary, North Carolina. The way Teresa Raybould sees today,
I don't think I have any other choice other than put my faith in the system and the people that are volunteering in it.
All of the presidential and vice presidential nominees have made repeated stops in this key battleground state the past couple of weeks. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Cary, North Carolina.
All right, so the race for the White House is too close to call when you consider the latest polling in battleground states like here in Georgia.
Kennesaw State political scientist Kerwin Swint says if neither former President Trump nor Vice President Harris pulls away with a strong lead after the polls close tonight, waiting on the absentee ballot count could take a while.
Georgia's in that situation. Pennsylvania could be in that situation. So if it is close, it could still be another, white-knuckle week.
Swint says it's also tough to say just who benefits more from early voting this time around, as there's been strong turnout by Republicans and women. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
All right, and we invite you to stay tuned throughout this election evening. Check back often for updates. And join us for our in-depth election night coverage. That's going to start at 6 o'clock this evening. We'll have a special roundtable. And on that roundtable will be all of the WSB hosts, so you don't want to miss that. We'll have complete coverage of all the races and the results as they start to come in tonight. And then tomorrow during Atlanta's Morning News here on 95.5 WSB, we are your 2024 election station. It's been a good day on Wall Street. The Dow up 427, 42,221. Dow up more than a full percent. NASDAQ up almost 1.5%, and the S&P's up more than a full percent. It is 4:34. That means it's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Let's go to Smile and Mark McKay.
The delays, I tell you, Sabrina, still continue in Douglasville into and out of that community out west due to a crash that's lingered for too long, about an hour in two right lanes of I-20 eastbound past Chapel Hill Road, exit 36. Those inbound delays now stretch back before Post Road, even seeing slowing now leaving the way station, Lee Road, trying to work your way out to Douglas County. Highway 78 still a good option whether you want to go east or westbound through Douglas County this afternoon. The downtown ride's been difficult, especially southbound on the connector. Northbound a little lighter than normal. Let's gauge the ride to the northern suburbs with the help of Veronica Harrell, Courier Carrier Traffic Center.
Right now, on and off those breaks, 85 northbound as you leave Spaghetti Junction to 85 and make your way through Norcross, and then you're going to hit the brakes again, but sluggish. 85 northbound approaching 985. 400 northbound, you are slowing going through Sandy Springs, leaving 285, and then really on the brakes, 400 northbound around Windward Parkway, trying to get to McFarland over in Alpharetta Cumming area. And 75 northbound, going to call it sluggish again through Marietta, the 120 loops over into Ackworth. 575 northbound, no problem at all. Get into Woodstock. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Fair skies for this evening. Temperatures falling to the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Clouds rolling in for tomorrow with off and on rain showers, high 74. Thursday, mostly cloudy with isolated rain showers, high 73.
77 degrees in East Point, 76 in Smyrna, Woodstock, 74. We'll have more news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
This past year has been incredibly tough for me. It's Belinda Skelton, and at the end of last year, my dad passed away. And now my brother and I are responsible for my mom's care and needs. Balancing my role as wife, mom, and daughter has been overwhelming. My mom needs round-the-clock care, and I felt this guilt, like I had to do everything myself. Luckily, my brother and I were referred to Four Seasons Home Care. They've become our lifeline, ensuring mom is happy and well cared for right at home, where she wants to be. Four Seasons Home Care is a local family-run business, not a franchise or a national corporation, so trust me, they care. They helped us find compassionate caregivers, allowing me to focus on being her daughter. If you have aging parents, please don't wait. Reach out to Four Seasons Home Care and and start the conversation. It's a free call, and it can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
Motorcycle riders are a different breed, and they need a different type of attorney. SteelHorseLaw.com.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
A lot of people don't like David Lynch films because they find them to be turbid. Oh. But I think Mulholland Drive is one of the greatest films ever made. Just wanted to get it out.
Turbid.
There it is.
Turbid.
Word of the day. Word of the day.
Donald Dump. Turbid.
How about Lost Highway?
Lost Highway, another fantastic one. All right. Get a room.
Wow. God. She didn't like your word of the day usage there.
That wasn't me.
Oh.
Everyone heard you coughing.
Who was coughing? Was it
The
you?
dog. Christina.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
I stared at her. I gave her a stare.
I hope you did. I hope she understands what it means to be a pro.
Turn that shower on right now.
That's right. No, he's the one that takes the hot.
Well, maybe she started doing it.
Stick your hand in there just for a moment.
Ow.
Scald
She'll beat
yourself.
herself up. She'll probably later. It's like, oh, I feel so bad. Can you
Well,
apologize for
she
me?
should. Well,
Yeah,
you
she
should.
shouldn't.
You should. Oh, my God. We just did the research. Half the audience left. Way to go, Christina. Thank you.
Because
Thank
she
you.
coughed.
Well, people don't want to hear it. They just not
Says
on,
a lot.
Not on election day. They don't want to hear it on election
They're
day.
sick and tired.
Of being
This is
sick
the most,
and tired.
This is the most important election of your lifetime.
Yeah, that's right.
Always
Just like
is.
just like
Every
every single time. This is the most important election of your lifetime.
It's a
First
gas
time-
leak at a polling precinct in Michigan, guys. Watch out.
Oh,
Watch
that's
out.
important. That's probably the most important.
Probably
for you.
Putin. Well, how is this
Hello?
so? Yeah, first we got to deal with this. So there was a bomb threat, some bomb threats.
A couple of bomb threats.
And Raffensperger, it's a P, not a B. Raffensperger came out and said it was the Russians. It's like, what did you have, like the world's greatest 2-hour investigation? I'm not saying it wasn't, and might very well find out that it is, but
Well,
I like
he
a
had
lot.
that line ready to go. I think he just wanted to be able to say, you messed with the wrong George.
I forgot to use caller ID blocker.
Were you just, what are you, pranking people on election day?
Hello, is this Fulton County voting precinct? Yes? Is your refrigerator running?
Yes, it is.
Oh, you better go catch it.
We've heard some
Putin.
He's like Dennis the Menace.
Putin!
Is this other Fulton County voting precinct?
Yes. How can we help you?
Do you have Prince Albert in the can?
Yeah, I think somebody here does, yeah. That's
You better let them out.
I want to hear his laugh. What's this, like Boris Badloff? Is that his...
We must kill moose and squirrel.
I'm not saying we won't find out that it was a Russian initiative. I'm not apologizing.
We have
I'm just
him
saying,
talking about
how
it.
in the hell do you know after 1 hour or 2 hours what it was?
This was him at 3 o'clock talking about it.
We've heard some threats that were of Russian origin, and so I don't know how to describe if that's viable. We don't think they are, but in the interest of public safety, you always check that out. And
All right, listen. Fine,
Is
okay,
this
fine.
Brett Veer? Get Brett Veer, jerky. Jerky boy.
It's just, I just don't understand how in 2 hours. Are you aware of the fact that the people who are really good with the computer science and stuff, they can add tags. This is why I say the future is a house of mirrors. And I'm not saying it happened in this situation. Maybe we'll find out it is Putin. I just don't think you can find out that quickly and be that declarative about it. But the hackers and stuff, they can add tags that make it look like it's coming from somewhere where it's not, and I use the word tags because I'm not a computer scientist, so that's probably the wrong word. But they can add code.
Or use a VPN.
No, it's not like that.
No?
It's not like that. They can add code that that makes it look like it's coming from. So basically, it works as a VPN in that situation. And I'm not saying that they did, but I'm guessing 99% of the people didn't know what I just said. That if you find in the code the thing is Russia, whatever. And so the future's a house of mirrors because everybody that's doing it is going to put stuff in there that makes it look like it's coming from somewhere else.
Well, one of the people arrested for some of these bomb threats was a poll worker.
Okay.
And that happened here in town. So.
And there are weirdos that are going to do that outside of anything. Just
there
you get that Munchausen thing and Munchausen by proxy and moon pies. It's election day. A lot's going to go on.
One of the precincts had a space heater that hadn't been used in a while that popped, that exploded. So
is it the Vladimir?
Detonate remote heating unit right now.
I'm cold. I'm volunteering and I'm cold.
He's laughing at you.
Be cold all day.
This ding-dong Putin won't leave us alone.
Did you know I endorsed Kamala Harris 2 weeks ago?
You rascal.
Nobody believed that. They all know that you love. I mean, this basically, you and Donald Trump had some sort of affair of some kind.
We had love affair. Crimean beautiful. Before war started, we had a wonderful time in Dacia.
Oh, you're like it's like Casablanca. You're thinking about the years before the war when you fell in love and things were different.
You're getting on that plane with J.D. Vance. If you don't, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, but tomorrow and for the rest of your life.
It's kind of like Putin as played by a young Robert De Niro.
If you get on that plane with Donald Trump, you're going to hell.
Straight to hell.
Maybe not today, but tomorrow and for eternity.
All right, I think we have to do experts say. Let's do that.
The experts say.
Experts say.
Experts say. The experts say.
Experts say.
The experts say on the Von Hessler Doctrine.
Every headline thrown at the host must have those two words together. Experts say or say experts. Let's try to squeeze one in real quick before traffic.
From Reuters, guys, Musk and X are the epicenter of U.S. election misinformation, experts say.
This is the beauty of experts say. Could they have gone out and found 100 experts who disagreed? Yes, they could have. Experts say, look, you tune into this show, you learn. Experts say in a headline is a way for a non-editorial page reporter to editorialize. Because unless there are subjects out there, political matters, in which everyone, I guess all that matters is that every expert in the field all agree, unless that's happening, the reporter always could have found other experts who would have made, they don't lie, they just sort of leave it out there like, well, experts say.
Well, what makes one an expert on X? Just being on it constantly?
Well, that's another thing, is the disinformation and misinformation expert, and I'd like to see the certificate from the university. Where does that come from? Oh, it doesn't exist.
I'm
sure
Twitter.
it will.
I still call it Twitter. I'll never call it X. I'm on it all day.
Yeah.
I post at least 6 times every minute.
What makes you an expert on misinformation or disinformation? The answer is there isn't one. You know, the planet, what is it, like a little over 24,000 miles if you try to walk all the way around the equator? I think it's like 24,000.
I wonder what the circumference is.
Well, I know we're going like 1,000 miles an hour. There's 24 hours. You can kind of put it together. It's a little over 24,000 miles. It turns out, see, you tune in, you learn something again.
Very good. 24,901 miles.
Thank you. And walking around legitimately on misinformation or disinformation, we didn't even talk about it 8 years ago.
But guys, we
didn't even talk about it 8 years. Hey, you know, if somebody's an expert in leukemia, yeah, they were talking about that long before I was born. There's lots of time to become an expert, go to school, choose a field, choose a specialty, become very great in that specialty. we didn't even talk about misinformation or disinformation I don't even think leading up to 2016, surely not in the 2012 election. And now we have experts?
It says here, one Reddit expert says at least 87 of Musk's posts this year have been promoting claims that the U.S. election is going to be taken away.
Right,
and
how about this claim?
have...
How about who fact checks this? That Donald Trump said that Liz Cheney should be in front of a firing squad. I saw that on CNN.
Let me find another Reddit expert.
People were getting red in the face. They were angry, and then I went and I looked at it, and it turned out it was he didn't come within 9,000 miles of saying that. So you see the game here, and don't let yourself get angry by it. Just I don't know, drink. I find that works. Have a good scotch when you get home. Let the world just sort of melt away. Get plenty of sleep. You got to go to work tomorrow. But just, avoid anybody who's bragging about their candidate who won. Who cares? We're still $35 trillion in debt.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Still sleepwalking our way into World War III.
Yeah, nobody cares.
That's why I'm not voting. Smile at Mark says there's better news on I-20 in Douglasville.
Trying to lower the stress level for those that have been stuck on I-20 east and westbound near Arbor Place Mall. Crash involving a big rig that lingered for over an hour in a couple of right lanes has cleared I-20 eastbound past Chapel Hill Road. Chapel Hill Road is exit 36, but there will still be delays as you leave Post Road. And the westbound delays are thinning out in Douglasville, but now starting to pick up into that soon-to-be setting sun as you leave Six Flags Upper Georgia, trying to get past Lithia Springs and Thornton Road. There is slowing in the I-20 work zone eastbound, leaving 285 past exit 71 Panola Road. Let's find out where the worst of it is on 285. Kobe Dawkins, Cooley Carrier Traffic Center.
Well, rides are moving slow, leaving Dunwoody 285 eastbound and southbound the Interloop from Ashford-Domoney Road to Highway 78. And this report is sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Election day is here.
Make no mistake, we will win.
For one very simple reason, because I believe we can win.
And as the votes get counted,
you can count on us.
It will be Liberation Day.
There is nothing in the world that will stand in my way.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
And beginning at 6 p.m., listen for our special in-depth election coverage with results and analysis.
95.5 WSB, your 2024 election station.
Your business needs a network it can count on.
Power's out.
Comcast Business has you covered with Wi-Fi backup to help keep your business up and running, even when your power goes out.
Everybody in the warehouse good?
Lights are out, but the Wi-Fi's up. Let's power on.
It's from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
Break room, you good?
Can't microwave my burrito, but Wi-Fi's fine. Let's power on.
Power on with the leader in connectivity, Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Learn how to get Comcast Business Internet and Security Edge plus Wi-Fi backup for $59 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement when you add Comcast Business Unlimited Mobile. And ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today. Ends 11/17/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 300 megabit per second internet, Security Edge, and Wi-Fi backup. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change.
Heavy rain can find its way into your home. In fact, you could be one storm away from a flooded basement or serious mold. See the experts at AquaGuard.net. They know how to find the permanent solution your basement needs to stay dry. Remember, AquaGuard.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
It's Eric. I don't know about y'all, but life happens in our kitchen. It's where we have our memories, our family time, our laughs.
Well, you don't want a lot of downtime, but you may want to renovate your kitchen. You want one of those $1 million kitchen looks and get it at the fraction of the cost with Frugal Kitchens. They know that you've got plans for your kitchen, and they want to help you. And here's why I love them. They can have you cooking in 5 days from the start of construction and get you 18 months no-interest financing. FrugalKitchens.com. That's where you want to check them out, FrugalKitchens.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join Medi-Share and save even more than usual. For many families, joining Medi-Share means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, Medi-Share members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And Medi-Share is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 15th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee, so you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 15th. So call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
I could break down those
This
pieces.
is funny. You'll like this, Craig, because you have such a love of college sports. Actually, I think you do. You don't mind people who went to the college being fans. So this Jared Yamamoto.
A proud papa last night.
He's a proud West Georgia grad. And you guys recently went up to Division I.
That's right.
So you played, was this the first game?
It's our
basketball?
first basketball game, college basketball game at the D1 level.
And it was on ESPN.
That's right. I loved it. I was like, oh, look
Who
at
are you
us.
playing?
We've made it.
Mississippi.
We played Mississippi State on the road.
And okay, but he told
What was
me
the result?
Oh, they got crushed.
Crushed.
90-60 or something. And Jared is still beaming. He's so proud. We're in Division I. We were on ESPN. He says like a proud papa watching his team getting crushed on ESPN.
We were only down by 10 at halftime, and then in the second half, of course, Mississippi State just turned it on.
You know,
us.
I think I know what the halftime talk was in the Mississippi State thing. It was, you guys know who we're playing out there? And then the player's like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. We got this one, coach. And they went out there. They played it the way they should.
And then once it became, I don't know, like 75-48, then at that point I was like, okay, all right, I'll flip over to Monday Night Football. But it was great, and I'm going to the game when West Georgia takes on Georgia Tech tomorrow in Atlanta. So
Do you have a box there? Oh, it's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta.
In West Georgia, do you have a box because you're one of the most famous people to ever graduate?
Isn't there like a radio studio named after you at West Georgia? Has that
There's
ever
a closet.
happened?
There's a closet,
The closet,
in
the
the
janitor's
in the School of Communications.
When he came out of it, they said,
Yeah,
you know
Mama.
what?
Yeah, they said, you know what?
Autumn, how dare you?
Isn't that what happened?
You're the one who came out. That's right. That's what happened. So the Jared
School of Communication. It used to be just a department, but now there is a whole school of mass communication.
It's called
at
the
West
Yama.
Georgia.
When your name's
It's
on it,
It's not my name, but
Your name is on there.
I'm inside the building, though.
So that's why you got to go to a small college because
Excuse me.
just any
Big
level
fish.
of success, you get your name up on the wall.
He's not on the list.
Huh?
He's not on the famous people list yet.
Well, no. Who's the most famous people from there?
Newt Gingrich and Zach Brown.
Oh, don't forget Lil Nas X went there, too.
Zach Brown.
What's his real
Did
name?
Zach graduate, or did he just? Go
I don't
for a
know.
few
Lil Nas
years?
X, I think, has said that he didn't graduate.
Lil Nas X. did not
Honorary degree for Zach Brown. Good call, Greg.
Way to go.
Here you go,
I
Zach.
actually finished at West Georgia. Thank you very
So
much.
you're
Yeah, when
you're-
you came out of the closet,
Yeah.
then you finished.
That's right.
And that felt so good.
It was so relieving.
Because everyone was
I
watching.
bet.
It was
I'm
more.
proud
It
of
was
my-
more
Especially
of
the
a.
Wolves.
It was more of a public demonstration than what you would think of.
I am so proud of my Wolves out there.
I know you are getting crushed on ESPN.
And hopefully tomorrow we don't get crushed playing Georgia Tech. I want to beat those Yellow Jackets.
I'm sure you will, but you've come a long way, baby. Now you're getting your asses kicked on ESPN. Congratulations. Smile Mark says 285 is slowing through Sandy Springs.
And we know why. There's been a crash. One to the shoulder, though. 285 westbound near Roswell Road, exit 25, adding to those brake lights that form in Dunwoody at Ashford Dunwoody Road. Slow 285 east and south, leaving Doraville into Tucker, down to Clarkston. Really stacked up on 285 southbound, leaving La Vista Road, exit 37, down to Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway. Slow traffic, we can find that through Midtown, downtown Atlanta. Veronica Ralph.
Oh, heck yeah, we can. Over on the connector, 75-85 northbound. Looking at brake lights that start just before I-20. You stay slow through the Grady curve. 85 southbound, you're going to hit the brakes at Georgia 475 southbound. Packs in around Howell Mill Northside Drive. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts of labor coverage for any age system, make, or model. Triple T in Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Do you know the secret to losing fat permanently? Hi, I'm Dr. Taylor from Be the Younger You Atlanta, and I know the secret. Our anti-aging program makes it easy to lose weight, regain your health, and for many of our patients, reduce or even come off their medications. All without drugs, surgery, prepackaged meals, or injections. No counting points or calories. And you feel great while losing it because if you're doing it the right way, you should feel great.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter for BeTheYoungerYouATL.com weight loss program. With the holidays right around the corner, I suggest you call 770-415-3000 or go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com and sign up for a free consultation. You don't want to get caught big and heavy during the holiday season. Go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com or call 770-415-3000.
Call us now to schedule your free consultation and take advantage of our 20% off fall special. Call 770-415-3000 or go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com. That's BeTheYoungerYouATL.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now in the meat department, you can save big on bone-in pork back ribs. Just $2.97 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Is your siding unsightly and just sad? Make your home happy again with beautiful new siding from Nelson Exteriors. Home Fix It Show host Dave Baker here. My experts at Nelson Exteriors are James Hardy Elite Preferred Contractors with more dedicated project managers. Even the small details of your job are a big deal to them. Pick the company that's more picky than you. Nelson Exteriors. It's time for your home to shine. Get your free siding quote. Google Nelson Exteriors.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Tara Fine Jewelry Company, just 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia in Beaufort. Coveted brands like De Beers Code of Origin Diamonds, Mikimoto, Roberto Coin, fine Swiss watches, and so much more. Visit Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort today.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 5 o'clock on this election day. Good evening. I'm Sabrina Cupid. Thanks for joining us on your drive home. This news brought to you by D. Geller & Son. All right, let's get right to it. Polls are open. You still have a couple of hours left to vote. And it's not just the race for the White House, but as Scott McFarland reports this evening, the votes will also decide control of the House and Senate.
Real quickly, let me run you through California, where there's not one, not two, but a whole bunch of battleground competitive races in just California. If one party were to sweep through, they could make big headway towards the end result. Democrats need to net just 4 seats in the U.S. House to take control and very much handcuff or help a future President Harris or Trump.
And we had a record number of voters here in Georgia voting early, and there have been voters today as well. But it's been easy, quick. Get in and out really fast. WSB's Austin Eller is at the Doraville Civic Center this evening in DeKalb County with what he's seeing there now.
Yeah, Sabrina, I'm back in DeKalb as I was earlier in the day, and I've seen a bunch of people already come vote here in the few minutes that I've been here. Things were certainly slow around the metro this afternoon, at least that I saw, but that 5 p.m. rush, certainly seems to be kicking in here. Now, earlier today, I asked DeKalb voter Kyra Smith what she would tell someone who hasn't made it out to the ballot so far today.
What is the point in complaining about anything if you're not participating in voting? It's your civic duty. Like, if you want any type of change, if you have any things that you feel like should be done or should not be done.
Aside from a few exceptions, you have just 2 more hours to get to a poll. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
All right, and the weather is cooperating with you. Not a bad evening to vote. We have 71 degrees here in Midtown, but more rain is on the way. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says voters have been able to get in and out quickly in about 4 minutes or less on average today. And he had this to say.
I talked to you a little bit earlier about that Russian hoax and that bomb scare. And I just want to make sure everyone understands this. That Georgia's not going to be intimidated. The Russia has just decided they picked on the wrong Georgia. They need to pick on the other one in the Black Sea, because we're not going to be intimidated.
And he says otherwise, there have been very few major issues. Polls close at 7 tonight, but a little extra time has been added for voters in Cobb County, where precincts did not open the doors at 7 sharp this morning, a couple of them.
It was just a problem getting online in separate incidents at 2 Cobb polling locations, according to Cobb spokesman Ross Cavett.
The poll workers at those 2 particular precincts had difficulty getting the equipment online in time to open the doors at 7 o'clock, so we went straight to the judge and asked for the extension.
The judge is allowing the 2 polling locations to stay open until 7:20.
We do want to make sure that the voters at those precincts have the full 12 hours in order to come in.
Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so those 2 locations, Mount Perrin Church of God in Marietta and Kell High School in Marietta. We've just gotten word, too, that a judge has approved the extension of voting hours at 2 precincts in Gwinnett County by 58 minutes. They are both at the Mountain Park Activity Building. There were various issues at those locations, so the judge says they can stay open for 58 more minutes this evening to give you a chance to vote there. Some states are prepping for possible unrest on this election night. The National Guard's on standby in Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and elsewhere. In New York City, 2 police officers are at every polling site in the city. The Secret Service has also put up a new 8-foot-tall metal fence around several key sites in Washington, including at the White House, the Treasury Department, even the Vice President's home. Here at home, employees of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office say they will not be at work post-election as a security precaution. Instead, they're going to be working from home. District Attorney Fonnie Willis and Fulton County Sheriff telling Channel 2 Action News that the sentencing of a man who made threats to them is just one reason. Willis said that she's taking precautions in the 3 days following the election for her staff, some of who are prosecuting a controversial election interference case involving the 2020 presidential election. So they'll be working from home 3 days after the election. Stay tuned throughout this evening and check back often for updates. We will have our in-depth election night coverage. That starts at 6 o'clock tonight. So next hour, and we'll have a special roundtable. It's going to feature all the WSB hosts, so you'll want to join us for that. We'll have complete coverage of all the races and results as they start to come in. And then again tomorrow morning during Atlanta's Morning News right here on 95.5 WSB. We are your 2024 election station. And stocks surge higher as Americans voted.
Investors cheered strong economic news with ISM's services sector index rising in October to its highest level in nearly 2.5 years, while AI data analytics firm Palantir was a big stock winner after crushing earnings expectations. The Dow soared 427 points higher to 42,221. The Nasdaq gained 259 points to 18,439, and the S&P advanced higher by 70 points to 57.82. Oil gained another 52 cents, settling just under $72. Jason Brooks, CBS News.
All right, it's time now for WSB Triple Team Traffic. Smile and Mark McKay kicking it off.
We certainly are watching the ride, and the setting sun will have the impact in a moment on your ride out west, but it certainly is slowing the ride on 285 across that north side perimeter. 285 westbound slowing, leaving Dunwoody past a crash that's on the shoulder now at Roswell Road, exit 25. Sun will be bright in your eyes as you head toward the Truist Park region. Worst of it heading for the northern suburbs has to be that ride between Alfred and Cumming. 400 is stacked up, leaving that work zone just north of Old Milton Parkway. Perhaps some new trouble near Peachtree Parkway, Highway 141. We've had some problems on I-20, and now the sun is really in your eyes. Kobe Dawkins, Coolray Carrier Traffic Center.
Yeah, that's correct. Slow rides due to the sunshine. I-20 westbound leaving Riverside Parkway, getting into Douglasville, and rides now looking better eastbound from that earlier crash that has been cleared. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It's time now for Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official plumber of Atlanta Homes. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies this evening. Temperatures
temperatures settling to the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, the clouds rolling back in and a few hit-or-miss rain showers rolling through the metro region. Daytime high 74. Mostly cloudy on Thursday. A few isolated rain showers possible. Morning low 66. Afternoon high 73. Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy. Morning lows in the mid-60s. Daytime highs in the low 70s.
All right, we'll have more news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3, the third and final hour on this Tuesday, Election Day, of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. At 6 o'clock, we'll go to a roundtable on the election, hosted by Chris Chandler, featuring myself, Eric Erickson, Mark Aram, Shelley Winter.
Scott Slade as well.
Scott Slade. I didn't bring up Scott Slade before.
Nobody leaves.
And Ken, our program director, has said,
locking the door, you can't get out.
Nobody leaves early.
It's going to be like that church thing where you all lock in.
Oh, yeah, or like a high school prom type of thing. Not the high school prom.
No,
but that high school night.
Yeah, where you all, like, they lock everything down and you sleep.
They put masking tape on the outside of the door, so if you open it, they can tell because the tape detaches.
I did stand-up comedy in front of that crowd once.
Oh, that must
somewhere
have been fun.
Somewhere in Western New York. Chemung. It was a Chemungian high school. It might have been Chemung High School. And couldn't find our way there. Me and the other comic were driving together. Couldn't find our way there. And we're kind of going too fast because we were going to be late. And, this is a gig. This is at a time where eating didn't come easy. And we had to get there. Cop pulls us over. When we tell him what we're doing, he escorts us. Lights on.
Wow.
To the big lock-in. And I get there, and I realize, because it's locked in, but it's not everybody, right? So they have, I'm supposed to be on stage, and it's a pretty big theater for a high school, but there's only 3 rows. So I bring everybody up on stage with me. Set it up so that so my back, if you're in the audience, my back is to you, and I'm playing to this kind of small crowd. And things are going pretty well. I got the kids laughing and stuff. And then I hear somebody pounding on the stage behind me. And I turn around and I go to the lip of the stage and I bend down because this guy's down in the pit. And he says, I don't know if anybody informed you of this, but these are good kids. Maybe you ought to change your material a little bit.
They don't like comedy.
Meanwhile, they're laughing. And it's not like I was hitting them with F-bombs or something. Probably just realized that they were, I don't even remember. But
You're
I probably
feeding
just,
off the crowd.
They're just
You're
high
feeding
school
off,
kids.
yeah.
So there might have been a couple of bathroom jokes or something like that in there.
What year was
A couple
this?
of teacher jokes. It was probably actually not even the 80s. It was probably 90 or something like that.
Oh, so they'd never heard of Sam Kinison or Andrew
Well, yeah,
Dice
of course.
Clay.
But I mean, I get what they were saying, but it's not like I was doing, Richard Pryor jokes or George Carlin jokes in front of them. I just, hey, who's the unpopular teacher? What the heck? What are you? I don't know if anybody told you this, but these are good kids.
So college has always been the same.
It's
There's
not
always
college.
those-
Not college. It's high school. High school lock-in.
And
They
those-
don't lock you into colleges. I think you're kind of an adult.
That's cool that at least you got to perform in front of them, because I remember we had, I want to say our freshman year of high school, they did a similar thing where they locked us in, but they locked us into the Atlanta Zoo of all places. And no offense, love the Atlanta Zoo, but
Yeah.
there's no point of us staying the night there. There's no point of it.
No, there was I did the same thing. It was
So
a
you remember,
wonderful
no
trip.
point.
That was a wonderful trip. There was a point because we went out at night and we saw the nocturnal animals, and it was a learning experience. Also, it was when the Braves were in the World Series against the Twins, and so they wheeled in a TV so we could watch that late at night. That was actually one of my favorite trips. Lock-ins, for the most part, I would hate. I don't want to. I hated spending the night at people's places.
Yeah.
I'd be the kid who went home.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where when you show up at one of these places, you could so recognize that there's still. It's weird because it's high school. I think that they lock in seniors, or is it everybody? I don't know. I don't know.
I think it was freshman or sophomore.
Okay, yeah,
because you're still
you were
kids.
dealing with people who were, would have they looked like adults, but they were still children.
Yeah.
So they were still running around doing, really immature sort of goofy things, but they're 6 feet tall while they're doing it, so you might mistake them for an actual adult. But anyways, hey, We ought to do election lock-ins. By the way, these restaurants locally that are doing election night watch parties, if I owned a restaurant, I would close down. Why the hell? Now, I understand.
Blue shots if Kamala wins, red shots if Trump
I
wins.
sort of understand how.
Same cheap liquor, either way.
A place like Manuel's, that's always been somewhat political, mostly to the left, but has a spirit of everyone's welcome. Republicans do things there. But this is not normal. The MAGA versus... the people who convince themselves, just ask them, they're on the right side of history on everything. This is not normal kind of like Republican Democrat jousting that goes on. Yeah, good luck with your watch parties. For me, if I had a restaurant, I'd just close it down tonight.
I told you not far from where I live, there's an intersection of President Street and Clinton Street. So in 2016, people gathered there. And when they were celebrating and dancing, they had cupcakes. And pretty early in the night, they just abandoned everything.
Is that when the lady? Is that where the ladies on the ground screaming?
No, that was during the inauguration.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
she
it was
in
right
DC,
when.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was right when, I guess, Trump took his oath or whatever.
What did she think was going to happen? Say, hey, until he takes the oath,
he's not going to
take
take
a chance.
It was a ritualistic expression of upsetness.
No one can find that lady either.
Well, of course, she's probably kind of embarrassed. You get emotional in the moment. I've done that. I mean, not necessarily over politics, but I've gotten emotional in moments, told off, bouncers and things like that. And then the next day I feel like an idiot. Like, that guy was just doing his job.
You haven't been a meme for 8 years.
That lady. Yeah, right. Yeah. I would leave the country. You hear about people like they leave the country. That one, I would. It's probably worldwide, though. I mean, she's just the meme for the crybaby who can't handle things, right?
Yeah.
Usually aimed at the left, but they have plenty on. Listen, what we found out the last year or so is there's plenty of snowflakes on the right.
Do you think she tells anyone if she's dating someone new, let's say? Or is that a secret she holds on to forever?
I would imagine that she only dates people who are with her or to the left of her, so she could be seen as a hero. Right? It's like, I'm the one who spoke up. I'm the one who said, this is not right. I'm the one who said, I don't accept this. So, you can look foolish to most of the world and then be a hero to just a handful. And as long as you can find, you can use that as your dating pool, you'll do all right.
She does have that secrecy people do not know, which is a very difficult thing to achieve these days.
True.
In the internet age.
And she probably, it's 8 years, so she probably doesn't look the same.
She lives in Australia.
What? Did she move to Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think she was always Australian? What if she was? What if she yelled, "No"?
No, she's from Iowa.
No,
she's from Iowa.
I'll bet you she lives in the outback. She doesn't even want to be in one of the big cities. Just like, I want to take me. Indigenous. They have who doesn't have cell phones?
Oh no.
That's where I want to go. It's wild. She's like Edward Snowden in Russia.
That's not a scream. This is a scream.
Little Crocodile Dundee reference there. Well done. Never saw that movie.
Not a very good movie.
Oh, I love it.
Well, listen, I didn't. I there's a lot of big movies when I was younger that were just huge. I just never saw. Never saw Top Gun. Never saw that. I know it didn't last, but at the time, this movie Everlasting Love or something was. There was a song that was a hit.
It's a Brooke Shields and Robbie Benson or something? I don't know.
No. Robbie Benson never had a huge cinema hit that I know of. Although
Ice Castles.
Ice Castles, I saw that film in the theater, and I liked it. It was quite good. For a sappy, the Hallmark Christmas people should watch that movie because it is sappy. Doesn't she go blind or something? She's an ice skater and
spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
I'm trying to remember. I saw it.
Goodness gracious.
Saw it once at the theater in 1978 or 9 or something.
I think the song "Everlasting Love" is the theme to Ice Castles.
No.
Are you thinking Endless Love?
Endless Love was the movie. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that one. But the people at Hallmark who do these horrible Christmas movies, they should watch Ice Castles because it's sappy. It's a tearjerker, but it's also gritty. It's a small, I think, Pennsylvania town or some northeastern town in the middle of winter, and it's very gritty. And that guy who's in MASH and Picket Fences, the actor who died,
Tom Skerritt?
Yeah, he's in it. He's like the dad, and so like the scenes are actually very realistic. But the movie came out, after Rocky and the Karate Kid came along. So it was all these athletes that overcame the odds. And her particular, spoiler alert.
Oh, no.
She was blind. What are we looking at here? Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No, that is none other than Jill Biden rocking MAGA red going to vote.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Maybe they switched sides.
You know damn well I voted for Trump.
Hey, he didn't knock you out of power.
That's right.
You thought Trump was trying to knock you out of power?
MAGA. People are, the internet's going crazy. Why would she wear
she's
that red on
and
election
white.
day?
That's right. That's a signal, people.
A bellwether.
Because people who vote for Trump would be very influenced by Dr. Jill Biden, of course. Hey, listen, conspiracy theories are fun. Do they have to add up? No. No, they don't. Smiler Mark says there are sunshine slowdowns on the West Freeway.
Yes, sir, and that sunshine is at the location now where it's really in your eyes as you get past Six Flags on I-20 westbound. So here we go with the time change. Didn't have to worry about that yesterday with the clouds and low fog and rain, but we do have it today. And a bumper-to-bumper battle as you leave exit 49, Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Try and get past Thornton Road. Eastbound delays on I-20 starting to thin out through the work zone. Not thinning out is the downtown connector, which is pretty slow from 17th Street down to I-20. Let's head you home to the southern suburbs with the help of Veronica Rell, Coolray Carrier Traffic Center.
And right now, you're going to deal with some brake lights as you travel 75 southbound, leaving Highway 138, making your way to Jodico Road, 75 northbound, sluggish, coming up from 155, headed over to Jodico Road in Stockbridge. This report brought to you by Affordable Dentures and Implants. Get your smile back. Affordable Dentures and Implants in the Atlanta area. Make new smiles affordable every day. Call 1-800-DENTURE for the location near you. Affordable Dentures and Implants. Go ahead and smile. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Election day is here.
This is really the end of a journey, but a new one will be
Whatever
started.
happens in this election,
We've got Election Day covered.
walking on your behalf with my to-do list. Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
We're going to defeat Kamala.
I see the promise of America.
As the votes get counted, count on us for updates throughout the day and night. 95.5 WSB.
Your 2024 election station.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
When historians look back, they're going to say, oh, that was a red letter day in Atlanta history when QC Kinetics arrived. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. The demand for QC treatment so strong, opening another clinic, this one in Douglasville, while continuing treatment in Lawrenceville, Sandy Springs, Marietta, and Stockbridge. Friends, QC Kinetics, a game changer. The nation's leader in regenerative medicine, using a modern-day approach to deal with chronic joint pain. All-natural process that uses healing properties
from your own body to restore and repair damaged tissue in your joints. So what's that mean? It means you can get your life back, be active again without that chronic pain and without surgery or drugs. Stop putting it off. If you have arthritic pain or pain from an injury, do what so many others have already done. Call QC Kinetics, free consultation. Call now, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. QC Kinetics. Call them, 770-285-8026.
We weren't planning on selling our home, but our family's needs changed. I'm Caitlin, and selling our home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate was the best decision we made for our family. With over 11,000 five-star reviews, I had peace of mind knowing I could trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell our home fast and for more than we were asking. If you're preparing to move, check out Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer. Go to markspain.com.
Without slowing you down. Don't get caught with a stop work order. Call Sketchhouse Architects and let's get started. Visit sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, H-A-U-S, sketchhouse.com.
Rodents can be crafty, but the squirrel is the smartest. They don't even put all their nuts in one nest. Oh no. They have multiple homes, and right now they're looking for new real estate. Don't let your attic become their next retreat. Dave Baker here for Breda Pest Management. If you're hearing scratching in your attic, it's too late. Squirrels have already moved in. Better call Breda to kick those squirrels out. It'll be like they were never there. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Yeah! We should do that hackneyed thing on Election Day where we come back with Jimi Hendrix doing the Star Spangled Banner.
Hell Who's yeah.
It's like, with time, everything becomes acceptable, right?
Yeah.
The patriots of the world, when he first did it, were like, oh, that's so disrespectful.
They really were, weren't they?
Yeah.
They thought it was bad.
Well, he does the distress signal in the middle. Nah, nah. He does that in the middle. I
Yeah.
can't do it. What is the distress signal? Whatever. In the middle of it, he does that. But the country was going through some stuff. You know, Jimi Hendrix was a paratrooper.
Yes.
So
Elvis.
So funny with these guys. These guys were a little more conservative than you'd think. Jim Morrison's dad was a Navy admiral.
Gulf of Tonkin.
One of the best ones. Was he there? Was he one of the people lying?
He was on the boat when it happened, yes.
Come on. Sometimes you tell me things and I look it up
Oh,
later.
I just pulled it out of my ass and said
I'm
it.
not saying
like I haven't
that.
ever looked into it.
I'm not saying that.
Of course he was. I wouldn't have said
Could
it
have been
otherwise.
there. Like, is he the main guy who started lying about it?
I don't know. That would have been Johnson.
But so if Morrison would have gotten older, who knows? Because a lot of these bands that are still around, they're like when the whole thing was going on with Iraq and Afghanistan, I go see like hard rock bands, like Grand Funk, and they were like the most patriotic, like these bands from the '60s and '70s.
Neil Young too.
Neil Young's pretty lefty.
Let's roll. He wrote that song.
one, but that's just about that situation. But I mean, everybody was like on the side of the people in that plane. But no, I remember watching Grand Funk, and like at one point, the lead singer, who's not the original, but who cares? he comes out with a big American flag and plants it on the stage. It's like, I was just thinking, like, wow. Now they were always a little more leaning right than the other bands.
Well, they were an American band.
They're coming to your town. They'll help you party down. They're an American band. All right, Greg, I think it's time for us to say farewell to you.
All right.
On this election evening, we got Bill
have
Crane.
a good roundtable discussion.
Well, we're going to start here with Bill Crane, talk about what he sees in the numbers, and then we'll go to the roundtable at 6. We'll talk to you, Friday?
Yeah, one of these days.
I look forward to it. Stop getting angry on the text threads. It's okay. Just relax a little bit.
No
Enjoy
more
yourself.
joking.
Tell Christina to clear her throat before the next time she comes on, or you come on. Tell her to go into the hallway to cough.
Go to that
She's
bar.
very embarrassed.
Take a selfie in that bar and go and reclaim it. Reclaim it, Greg.
Go reclaim that bar. All right. Thanks, Greg. Smiley Mark says the delays persist in downtown.
Really not getting a break, Eric, on the downtown connector, 7585 southbound, quite slow as you leave 17th Street Atlantic Station to I-20, slowing the 85 and the 75 ride north of the split there. Northbound 7585, we have certainly seen it worse. There are brake lights north of I-20, but you will break free once you work your way to Midtown. Travel advisory, heads up if you're heading to Norcross. Here's Kobe Dawkins.
Yeah, that's correct. 85 northbound past Chamblee Tucker Road, exit 94. 2 left lanes are blocked, and that includes the HOT lane. You can use Highway 23 as an alternate, and just the tap of the brakes getting to Highway 316, but also looking at 85 southbound, that exit to Old Peachtree Road, exit 109. Crash continues to knock out 1 right lane. Stay to the left if you can. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage on any age system, make, or model. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Just like your car, your septic system needs regular maintenance. Hi, I'm Shannon, the owner of Scorpion Septic. If you're seeing bubbles in your toilet, pooling in your yard, slow draining, or your toilet won't flush, you need Scorpion Septic.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic, where there is never a pump out charge with your repair. Call for more information. ScorpionSepticServices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. At Cigna Healthcare, we're designing a better way for you to get better care. And that starts with being there to support you around the clock. When you call or text, we'll always answer with 24/7 access to mental health clinicians, and we'll call you too. With a 100% follow-up rate to make sure you have everything you need. Whatever works best for you, works best for us. We're really just here to help you get better. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz, and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no, and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now. 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
For nearly 50 years, Shane Company has been Atlanta's most trusted family jeweler. We'll help you create your dream engagement ring. Shane Company has the biggest selection of diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and center stones in an array of colors, including sapphires in blue, pink, green, lavender, and more. Just the other day, a couple created a truly unique ring by choosing a blue sapphire that matched her eyes. Atlanta, come check us out. You just might fall in love with something unexpected. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 5:30. Good evening. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Our top story, election 2024. The stakes are high. Georgia, a battleground state with 16 electoral votes up for grabs. Russia trying to target Georgia elections, but Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says they caught them before they were able to do anything.
Georgia's not going to be intimidated. The Russia has just decided they picked on the wrong Georgia. They need to pick on the other one in the Black Sea. because we're not going to be intimidated.
Now, as far as issues are concerned, there were a few delays. Hours have been extended at a couple of polling places in Cobb County. They're going to stay open 20 minutes longer today because they were delayed this morning in opening. Cobb spokesman Ross Cavett telling us why.
The poll workers at those two particular precincts had difficulty getting the equipment online in time to open the doors at 7 o'clock, so we went straight to the judge and asked for the extension.
And they got it. So the Mount Perrin Church of God in Marietta location will be extending the hours there by 20 minutes. And Kell High School in Marietta also will be open until 7:20 this evening. Also, a judge has approved the extension of voting hours at two precincts in Cobb County by 58 minutes there. Those locations are at the Mountain Park Activity Building. There were various issues at the location, so they're going to stay open an extra 58 minutes this evening to give folks a chance to vote. And the weather's cooperating, 70 degrees under partly cloudy skies this evening, but we could see some rain showers tomorrow, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Continuing our team coverage of election 2024, besides voting for president, in Cobb County, voters are deciding on a mobility special purpose local sales tax. It's going to add a 1% sales tax to fund transit projects in the county. In Gwinnett County, voters there will be voting on a SPLOS referendum. That's a 1% tax to fund transit projects. And there are some amendments on the ballot, too, here in Georgia. One will deal with homestead exemptions, another creating a special tax court, and then the third will deal with property tax exemptions. So what are the odds that we'll actually have a president-elect by tonight or tomorrow morning? Political insiders say too close to call races in swing states like Georgia make that hard to predict.
It's possible neither presidential candidate will get a strong enough lead after the polls close tonight.
Talk about a coin toss, and that's got everybody just pulling their hair out.
And Kennesaw State political scientist Kerwin Swint says that could mean a white-knuckle wait for absentee ballots, which could last several days. On the flip side, Swint says the polls may be wrong.
It may not be that close in the final analysis. You may have either Trump or Harris pull away when, say, 5 or 6 of these battleground states.
Like Georgia. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
And I'm sure you've heard and seen all the commercials, and we have an idea now of how much money was actually spent leading up to today's voting.
Candidates spent a record $16 billion on U.S. election campaigns, according to a nonprofit called Open Secrets. That was an all-time high. In the hotly contested presidential race, Vice President Kamala Harris emerged as the fundraising leader. Her campaign directly raised over $1 billion, with 40% coming from small donors. Former President Donald Trump's campaign raised $382 million directly, with 28% coming from small donors. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
All right, be sure and stay with us and check back often for updates. And our in-depth election night coverage is going to get underway in less than 30 minutes from now. We're going to have a special roundtable. It features all the WSB hosts, so you'll definitely want to join us for that. We will have complete coverage of all the races and the results as they start to come in. And then tomorrow during Atlanta's Morning News here on 95.5 WSB, your 2024 election station. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather, Triple Team Traffic, and it starts with Smilin' Mark McKay.
Okay, near Spaghetti Junction, Sabrina just watched all lanes held. It was a crash that was in 2 left lanes, including the HOT Express lane. They hold all lanes to get it off to the right. Now they release those lanes, and we will start to see improvement now as you head north on I-85 through DeKalb County, trying to get from Chamblee into Norcross. The 85 delays won't stop there. If you continue up to Swanee, I see more slowing as you approach the area of Peachtree, just north of Old Peachtree Road. Your delays up toward Peachtree Parkway persist on Georgia 400. We'll check out to see if there's any crash in the way. That's 400 northbound just before exit 13, Highway 141, and I-75 and 575 stacked up in Kennesaw. 75 delays leaving Chastain Road, and your 575 slowdown around Bells Ferry. Let's see if we're getting relief on I-20. Veronica Relko, Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
Well, a little bit better now on the East Freeway. I-20 eastbound, just on and off the brakes a bit, leaving the east side perimeter. 285 headed out to past Panola Road. West Freeway slowing into the Sunset. I-20 westbound as you leave 285. You're going to slow just past Thornton Road, and just a few brake lights. I-20 eastbound leaving Thornton, headed over to the west side of town. 285. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It's time now for Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, and here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Fair skies this evening. Temperatures selling to the mid-60s for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, the clouds rolling back in and a few hit-or-miss rain showers rolling through the metro region. Daytime high 74. Mostly cloudy on Thursday. A few isolated isolated rain showers possible. Morning low 66, afternoon high 73. Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy. Morning lows in the mid-60s, daytime highs in the low 70s.
It is 74 degrees in Dunwoody and Kennesaw. Sandy Springs has 73 degrees right now. We will have more news coming up at 6 o'clock. That special roundtable featuring all the WSB hosts starting at 6 o'clock. And, of course, news when it breaks right here on 95.5 WSB.
Attention, veterans and active military. In November, Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is doubling our usual veterans discount on all products and services. This means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Choose a new garage door or any service or repair. Veterans and active military save 10% in November. Schedule a free in-home estimate for your new garage door or schedule your annual garage door tune-up online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA-DOOR.
When leaves are falling off the trees, it's time to celebrate autumn. But when your garage door is falling off its tracks, it's time for All Four Seasons. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Sounds like you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Our products are warranted, and our work is guaranteed. When trust matters, repair or replacement, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
When it comes to defending down bikers' rights, trust is everything and results matter. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, local motorcycle injury attorneys who ride. They specialize in protecting bikers who've been hurt. The mega firms will send an investigator or a paralegal, not a lawyer. With Steel Horse Law, you'll meet directly with your own attorney to get you back on your feet, medical bills paid, back to work, and your case resolved. Schedule your free accident evaluation at steelhorselaw.com.
For heaven's sakes, y'all, don't cook this Thanksgiving. This is Tom Murphy, and for over 40 years, Murphy's Restaurant in the Virginia Highlands has offered exquisite, complete takeaway meals, including roast turkey breast and all the fixings, including your choice of a whole pie. You can even add wine to the order. Just pick up, heat, and eat. Let our talented chefs handle everything. Just go to murphysatlanta.com. That's murphysatlanta.com. Order today, murphysatlanta.com.
All right, here it is. It's election coverage. Now it's okay. At the time, it was seen as unpatriotic. But now we're all cool, so Jimi Hendrix. He was playing before very few people on the morning after really Woodstock, and so there had been like 500,000 people there or something. And when Jimmy was playing, I think there was about 30.
Shut up, man. We're trying to sleep.
But it was awesome. Hey, guess who's here on Election Day? Bill Crane, who is the chief political analyst for WSB. And so you should know more than I know today already. Is there anything that you know about what's going on or what we could expect?
Well, there's a lot of things we know about the early vote, and there's a lot of things we know from polling about the trends. But I don't have answers for you on who's voting today and what they're doing.
Get out.
Come on, Bill. This is the pregame show.
We are not seeing lines. We are seeing a pretty steady flow, but none of what we saw in 2020 with long lines and precincts that will have to be open until 7 or 8 o'clock tonight here in Georgia. We did have some instances of bomb threats early this morning in multiple metro counties and other states that appear to have already been traced to the FBI back to Russia.
See, I brought this up. Maybe it's Russia. Maybe we'll find out it's Russia. I'm not apologizing for Russia. This is the world's greatest 2-hour investigation in history.
Well, they apparently used an IP address that has been identified before, and this happened all the way back to 2016. This isn't new. The Russian government was taking liberties, if you will, on Facebook and elsewhere,
as we do during their elections.
Oh yeah, that I do remind people.
Yeah.
We have.
There's a reason he
was.
There's a reason he was upset with Hillary Clinton. Let's just put it that way.
And Trump brought this up in a visit during his administration with Vladimir Putin about staying out of our elections, and the translation back from Putin was, "I will if you will."
Right. That's exactly correct.
We'll stay out of your elections if you stay out of ours.
This goes back to that 2012 one. Was that the election where there was a bit of an uprising in Russia?
Yeah.
And our intelligence agencies.
The push to keep Putin from being president for life, which he is now essentially.
Yeah.
was U.S. sponsored.
Of course it was.
Well,
We're
it
all
could
over
be.
the world.
We
Toppled the Brazilian government in the early 60s, for heaven's sakes. Come
Latin
on.
American dictatorships are easy to knock off.
Anyway, let's not get into that whole thing. It's Election Day, and
I know, we're
people
the
are
pregame show.
celebrating. People are celebrating their right to vote. Is it looking like the trends in terms of early voting? Is it looking like we're going to come down to where we can't call this tonight? Is it looking pretty?
I believe we'll know in Georgia 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight. The whole country, I think Pennsylvania, because of the late start.
Yeah.
And that is a close state. We may be waiting in overtime for the final result. I have my own prognostication about what's going to happen, but I think Pennsylvania may keep us at bay from naming the next president.
What is the reason? Why are because in Georgia we vote we tally the early votes.
Well,
What is the reason in Pennsylvania?
Each state sets
I know
their laws
that.
of process. So here in Georgia, starting at 7 a.m. this morning, those 4 million and change early and advance and absentee votes started being scanned. And I know it sounds stupid, but it's as simple in part as an absentee ballot to be processed. Comes in 2 envelopes, has to be opened, has to be flat, and has to lay flat so the scanners can scan it.
Mhm.
That takes time. If you already have all of those open, because they had so many fewer this time, they were all preset and ready to scan starting at 7 o'clock this morning. So they were doing that until 7 p.m. That first blob of 4.2 million votes we'll know at 8 o'clock, 8:30.
Mhm.
And then we expect somewhere between 1 and 1.5 million votes today. The number today obviously will determine what really
But
happens.
what I'm wondering about is why does Pennsylvania say that
They
decided to
they
not
do-
start counting until
That's
the
their
poll?
law. They don't tabulate a
But I mean, is there any justification? Like, have they said, well, the reason we want to do it is because of
they
this?
believe there's less likelihood of tampering and that all eyes can be on the process if you wait until every precinct is closed, bring all the ballots to central locations, and then begin the tabulation. They don't close their polls until 8 o'clock. So when you talk about the precinct captains bringing the ballots in downtown Philadelphia and Pittsburgh and traffic and places like that, some of the tabulation won't start until 9, 10 o'clock tonight.
I just don't see why you can't have a representative from both parties in a room, get it started. I'll
give you
I
the
get
governor.
their point.
I'll give you Governor Josh Shapiro's number after maybe.
I got a thing or two to say to him.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you've been doing this all your life, but this radio guy's got some ideas for you.
It does seem like, to Eric's point, though, I mean, we made adjustments. Like Georgia made adjustments, and several other states made adjustments because of what happened in 2020.
But there weren't allegations, if you will, in Pennsylvania was a close state that Joe Biden narrowly won, of allegations of voter theft or fraud there. So you didn't have the whole same. It wasn't the issue that it's been here in Georgia for almost 4 years. I mean, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, each year, particularly on the state Senate side, new laws, and then the state election board, 3 members trying to cram through 9 rules about ballot tabulation, some of which would have been very counterproductive. But one of the beauties of 50 states,
it's 50 different elections.
Yeah, they get to have their rules and they set their primary dates and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to go to a federal standard. I don't want
I don't either.
the federal government to be determining all that. But I do think, depending on outcome, Pennsylvania may get beaten up pretty bad by one or the other parties and may change their process, much the same way Iowa changed the caucuses after a couple of really brutal long nights determining who won the Democratic primary caucus.
Well, the Democrats just got rid of their primaries now, so it's okay. They had one; it just
You
didn't
do-
count.
you do save a lot of money that way. But one can make the argument that Vice President Harris might be a stronger candidate if she'd gone through primaries. as she
I
did
believe
in
so. You know what? I don't think she would have gotten the nomination. Whoever had the nomination would be stronger. And if she got the nomination, that means she would have been a lot better than she was 4 years earlier. So she will have been a stronger candidate.
You get beat up on the trail. You have to, think on your feet in press conference. I mean, if she wins tonight, we have never in modern times had a presidential candidate who did not have one press conference, just open mic press conference during the time of the
I didn't even think about that. She hasn't held just
Not
one
one.
straight open. Ask
She
me
has
any
not.
questions that you have on your
even
mind.
the most recent walking out on the White House lawn and the national speech on Donald
Isn't it
Trump being
funny?
Hitler, no questions.
Isn't it funny that I remember in the 80s that the left used to hate Reagan for that? And he did have press. I'm talking about during his presidency.
I understand.
And people went after, who was the guy's name? He had Mike Deaver. Was
Yeah,
he
who
the
was
guy?
his chief of staff
And
for
he
swap
kind of
jobs.
fashioned like the new kind
He's the
of
person
way.
who came up with Morning in America and all of that.
And
worked
also
with Reagan in his gubernatorial administration.
campaigning basically through your entire presidency for the next election, kind of holding campaign events.
Having a
2
theme,
years
having
out.
a message of the day.
Right,
Yeah,
and
Deaver kind of brought that to the White House.
Democrats hated the fact this old guy, he won't take questions, he doesn't, and now this is
well, Mommy, I do take questions. It's just, what do I want for breakfast?
Right. They would not, every time they made him available, it was super controlled. And the Democrats hated that. And now they've got exactly the same thing. And this is what I tell people all the time. It might kind of sort of be about you a little bit at the end of the day, but it's about power, and they are going to say and do the things that tell them, if we say and do these things, we could win. Kamala and Trump are paying a lot of people to get them elected. They want to win this election, so they'll say and do anything.
Well, people are paying their campaigns and super PACs a lot of money to get one or the other.
Right, I'm saying is if Kamala Harris gets elected, it goes true for Trump, too, but especially for Harris. If she wins this election and you were a large part of that campaign team, you've got work through the next 3 cycles. You don't even have to think about it.
Or a nice ambassadorship. And
something along those lines. Yeah. So when people are like, oh, he's lying, she's lying, it's not really about you. It might be a little bit at the end of the day. It's about power. They will say and do whatever the plan tells them is their best path to power. I wish more people would see that. It's about their power first.
I would agree that is the way conventional politicians generally operate. I would say at least one of the candidates in this race isn't much one to take advice.
Well, no, he does it his own way,
right,
for good and bad, for
I would agree.
His own process, but it's still about power. Smata Mark says 85 is recovering and shambling.
There's a crash that had all lanes blocked. You get it off to the right and out of those 2 left lanes, Eric. 85 northbound at Chamblee-Tucker Road, exit 94. That is why you're seeing brakes as you leave Shaliford. We'll start to see improvement rolling toward Norcross on I-85. Also had the east side perimeter temporarily shut down to get a crash to the shoulder, 285 northbound near La Vista Road, exit 37. We made a call to Forsyth County Police. They're not working anything 400 north between Alpharetta and Cumming, but certainly that slow zone is in place, leaving McFarland Parkway up to exit 13 Peachtree Parkway. You can always use Highway 9 to get around those delays, and pretty thick still out of Marietta into Kennesaw on 75 northbound, leaving Highway 5 up to the town center mall region. Back downtown, Midtown Atlanta, the update from Kobe Dawkins Cool Ray Carrier Traffic Center.
75-85 northbound, you're seeing delays start at I-20 around the Grady curve. Also, crash off to the right at North Ave, exit 249, adding to the delays. Southbound rides, you're slow starting at 17th Street to I-20, and this report is sponsored by Great American RV Superstores. Adventure seekers and road trip enthusiasts, head to Great American RV Superstores today. Thousands of top brand motorhomes and towables ready for delivery and priced to sell. Visit greatamericanrv.com. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
It's Election Day.
All right, Atlanta. Are we ready to do this?
We stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history.
And as the votes get counted, count on us for updates throughout the day and night.
America great again.
The most consequential elections of our lifetime.
Election Day 2024.
And beginning at 6 p.m., listen for our special in-depth election coverage with results and analysis.
95.5 WSB, your 2024 election station.
This is Scott Slade. When it comes to your engagement ring, there's only one place I'd recommend. Tara Fine Jewelry Company, known for exceptional standards, craftsmanship, and legendary customer service. Tara's passion runs through every design they craft. Engagement rings you'll be proud to gift, cherish, and wear for a lifetime. You fell in love with her because she's unlike any other woman in the world. When it comes to your promise of forever, only a Tara diamond will do. Tara, specializing in diamonds of absolute beauty and legendary customer service since 1985.
Mark Lloyd and the team at the Lloyd Advisory Group understand that no matter how the 2024 presidential election shakes out, it's going to have a huge impact on your retirement. Now more than ever, it's important that you have a clear understanding of what's at stake with your finances, because as we've already seen, anything can happen. Major election surprises like the ones we've been seeing can potentially tip the balance on our economy. And on top of everything else, we also know our current tax rates are going to expire at the end of next year, and they'll go back up. Do you think your finances are ready for all of this? Well, Mark's election stress test can help find out. Schedule yours today with the Lloyd Advisory Group by calling or texting ELECTION to 770-766-5611. That's ELECTION to 770-766-5611. See how strong your plan really is. Call or text ELECTION to 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group.
Skip the hassle and sell your home with the strongest cash offer this fall. The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. With the Guaranteed Offer, you can skip the uncertainty and sell your home fast for all cash in as little as 21 days. Mark Spain Real Estate's been serving families for nearly 30 years and has helped over 58,000 satisfied clients. Trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com and find out what your guaranteed offer would be and start packing.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. In a perfect world, when you have a plumbing issue, you want a plumber that answers the phone when you call, shows up on time, respects your home, and tells you exactly what needs to be done, quotes you a price, and does the job right the first time. They appreciate your business, and Superior Plumbing becomes your plumber for life. Call Superior Plumbing to come fix your plumbing issues.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422-PLUM.
Pro athletes and attorneys count on George Stein, the DUI lawyer. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. George Stein has been a personal and professional friend for decades. He literally wrote the book on DUI defense in Georgia. I trust him, and you can too. GeorgeStein.com.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15s. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Wet spots or water streaks on your ceiling, drywall, or chimney? Your roof is leaking. Home Fix It host Dave Baker. Get a free roof analysis from my trusted experts, Finley Roofing. The roof guys. No obligation, no charge. FinleyRoofing.com.
Roof. Did you get a good adapter there, Bill Crane? You got one that works? Very good.
We're in business.
All right, this is what we're going to do here is have this final segment of the Von Hessler Doctrine. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's Election Day in America.
What?
Yeah, we're talking to Bill Crane for a couple more minutes, and then we'll turn this around. There'll be a round table, election night round table. Chris Chandler, I believe Chris Chandler is the host.
He's here. He's
well,
out
you
there.
told me Scott Slade is involved too. So Scott Slade will be there. Eric Erickson, the Eric you're listening to now. Shelley Winter, Mark Aram, big round
Shelley
table.
Winter and Mark Aram are already in the pizza in the newsroom.
I know they're getting to the pizza before I am. And
this means all the good stuff will be gone.
Yeah, I know. I asked Ken, how come I have to be there?
There'll be a couple of slices of veggie left for you.
Because you're funny and you're levity and all that.
I didn't even vote.
You're
Why
great
am I there?
No, well, you need that there.
I'm going to spend the whole night going, none to me.
Well, you're the libertarian voice.
Sort of.
Neil's gone.
I've given up on the libertarians. Even. I don't.
It's a philosophy. It's not a party.
I know. But even then, I'm very, very, very cynical in my old age. Bill Crane. So what's the last word from Bill Crane before 6 p.m. on election night? What are you looking for? I know you'll be on WSB TV all night long, and then with Shelley Winter later on. What are you looking for? Are there any bellwethers that would tell us that surprisingly this isn't going to last till Friday?
The percentage of vote today that comes in, which we unfortunately won't know until closer to the time that they have tabulations, but the early voting shift in who voted and how many on the Republican side is pretty telling that the GOP has gotten their act together. The question is, who turns up today? Vice President Harris has been door knocking, literally, in the suburbs of Philadelphia this afternoon. That is not...
Hold on. I heard a piece of audio. Did she do a thing where somebody opened the door too
She
fast
did.
or something?
She did.
And she said, no, I want to get a shot
Yes,
out
she
from
did
outside.
And it was, yes.
Can we hear? I want to hear that just for a second. Very quick. You can barely hear it.
I want a door knock.
Oh, you want to do a door knock?
Yeah, come on.
All right, that's enough. We don't have to listen to the whole thing.
So you gather the aspect of it being theater, but she has been today on the streets in Philadelphia going essentially door to door. You don't have a candidate doing that, even though that's where you're having your Victory Party is nearby in Washington, D.C., if you think you have a state in the bag.
Right.
Without the state of Pennsylvania, the math is very difficult for Vice President Harris to take the White House.
So the most, we got to go because of the music, but
Yeah.
the most unlikely thing that could happen is the votes that they count early from today become overwhelmingly, and it looks like one or the other is going to win, and we know. That's
Right,
like,
and that happened with Joe Biden 4 years ago, but I don't think that's going to happen today.
all right, Bill Crane, you'll be on WSB TV all night long. That music's telling us to go away, at least briefly, and our election coverage roundtable will begin after 6 o'clock.
I'll go make the genie smile.
There we go. Whatever you do, continue on your journey, Bill Crane. Do not piss off the genie.
556 rolling out of Buckhead in slow traffic on 400 southbound approaching Sidney Marcus Boulevard. Atlanta Fire Rescue knocking down a vehicle fire that has the ramp blocked from 400 south to Sidney Marcus. Get by that. Still going to be slow into Midtown downtown as you approach the connector at 17th Street. What's left over on 285, Veronica Rell?
Just a few brake lights at 285 East southbound leaving Doraville, Buford Highway area over to Highway 78, and just a tap of the brakes really as you travel 285 westbound the outer loop, making your way from Georgia 400, so Sandy Springs down to I-20 on the west side. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age system, make, or model. Triple T in traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Belinda Skelton here with Dr. Ashraf with the Atlanta Vision Institute, and I'm a proud recipient of the laser optics procedure because it literally changed my life. I went from wearing glasses and contacts and not being able to see leaves on trees clearly, being tired when I read books at night, tired when I worked on the computer for long hours at a time. And I know that you hear a lot of this, Dr. Ashraf.
Yes, Belinda, I hear all these accolades all the time from patients. It is truly a life-changing procedure. This will not give you x-ray vision. However, if you want to get rid of the hassle of glasses and contacts and want to improve the quality of your life, this is a great procedure for you.
Go to 2020atlanta.com to find out more information. Take the quiz. See if this procedure is a good option for you. That website again is 2020atlanta.com. Your medical insurance may cover it.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
When is the last time you paid less but got more in return? It happens every day if you or a loved one has Medicare Advantage. $0 copays and an average of $2,500 less out of pocket annually, but more benefits like dental, hearing, and vision. More prevention and screenings to keep people healthy. More care for less money.